Hey everybody, we are doing this once again. I'm Katrina. I have with me the fabulous, beautiful Hahrts from Talk of Champions, and we thought it would be cool to kind of go live again with each other for Women's History Month and wrestling and all that good stuff, you know? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just making sure I shared the right one.
Yes, I am doing the same, guys. So, like,
see, now look at us. You know what? Not even gonna go through it. Just gonna share it again.
I feel like Facebook is with the shenanigans. Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
It should not be this complicated to share things. Okay.
We should be good.
Last time we did, Black history, wrestling, and we ranted a bit about people. And I feel we discussed before we went live that we should update everybody, I guess. But I don't know if we're going to do that now or to wait a little bit to update about that shenanigans.
We can wait. We can get some time to get settled. But they're going to figure it out if they was here last time.
So, I feel like I need to bring this up only because I got irritated watching it yesterday. So we all know that RVD is getting put into the Hall of Fame, which I'm perfectly okay with. I feel like before he got all crazy and stuff with let me show you how my girlfriend is and stuff, he was a really solid person. I respected what he did in ECW. I respected what he did in WWE in the beginning. I do. But I felt all these people was her name is Katie Vick. I'm hoping I'm saying that right?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you say it wrong.
So I felt when people was sharing this particular clip when he was beaten up, I was so irritated by the clip with Katie Vick twerking that there's about 4 instances yesterday I was going to quote that tweet and say something, and I was like, do I want to argue with people on Twitter today? No. So let me not say anything. But I feel now that I'm already here.
Go ahead.
I can say that I just hate how the glorification of this white woman twerking is such a thing now. But all I can think about, Naomi just doing a split and doing the booty bump that she does, which she does so nicely. Oh, that's so ghetto. And that's all these things. But then Katie Vick is sitting here twerking with these extensions in her hair, and it's amazing and everything. And I'm just but how is it okay for her to twerk when do you want to break it down where twerking comes from? No, we need to break that down for y'all, or why this is a bit insulting that Katie's able to pop her fake, because nobody gonna tell me that's real. I've seen plenty of sisters in the world.
Fake.
I've seen plenty of sisters in the world with some real.
There's very little on how that's real.
Let me add this real quick. What's up, David?
Hi, David.
Hey, David. What is up? Miss you, man. People on Twitter was like, this was an amazing moment in his career, and I'm like, so of all the greatness that RVD has done over the years, Katie Vick in the background twerking was his greatest moment of his whole career. So we're gonna ignore everything he's ever done just for this one person he's currently
acting like the hood rat.
Yeah, and I just it was very upsetting to see fellow Black people hyping this up. But I'm like, listen, Black folks, we're gonna just ignore that you guys literally called Bianca ghetto for having a long ponytail, or you called Naomi ghetto for using her assets in a match. But it's okay for her to twerk. I don't even think she could wrestle that well personally, but yeah, I don't know. That really irritated me. And I know this is, again, I'm trying to uplift other women wrestlers, and I am. That really irritated me, because I'm like, so how is this okay? How is this okay for her to do this, but the Black women that do this, or the twerking, it's ghetto. We don't need that in wrestling, but it's okay that Katie's doing it. It's okay for her to twerk and pop in whatever it is that she does, because I don't really know what her purpose is, honestly. So I literally had to refrain yesterday. It was hard. There was 4 times I was like, do I want to have a problem with Twitter today?
You should have said, because I would have backed you. Those wrestling girls.
Nice. Have fun and be safe, David.
Yes, please.
I just been working, and happy that it's spring, so it's not as cold, and spring makes things a little better.
It'll be warm in your house because we can't go outside.
So yeah, basically. So, but you guys have fun and be safe. What's up, Stan? Thank you for showing.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
So you should have said something. One. Two. Those wrestling girls Twitter page one time said, "What's your thoughts on Katie Vick?" And of course, Mia asked, "Do you want me to be honest?"
I think I saw that tweet.
And they said yes. And I said, quote, "This white girl twerk thing. No, this white girl doing this dry twerk with fake butt and boobs and everything. It's dry. It's not giving." Katie Vick seen it and liked it. Glad you're aware that I think you're dry. Because I think she's dry. Now listen. He love his girlfriend. Hi, Randy. He can love his girlfriend. His girlfriend can be everything to him. Sure. She can be a wrestler, whatever. But I cannot stand when white women wrestlers use black vernacular or the culture or however anyone want to put it and phrase it. Things that we were called ghetto for years, we're still called ghetto for it. And we see Carmella wrestling in Jordans and look like she just hopped off of Instagram. We see Katie Vick, her face doesn't even move. I showed Stan like it was like a gif of her kissing Rob Van Dam, and her lips don't even press in when he kisses her. Everything is done up to get the aesthetic of a black girl. And everybody's like, "Oh, she's so cool. Look at her body. Look at this. She has fake abs." I don't trust nobody with fake abs.
Yeah, no, listen. I didn't feel like arguing. That was my reason, honestly, because it was 4 times I was about to, and I was like, do I really want to argue with people on Twitter today? No, because I feel like the last time I said something, I was arguing with somebody for like a week, and they kept coming back, and I'm like, how are you coming back a week later? Like, I moved on, and you're still this pressed about what I said. No, it's not that
excited to argue with someone, especially reoccurring people. But I just learned, you gotta block.
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't really know. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know about her. I just know
Katie Vick wasn't Katie Vick's case girl. Yes, she was, but her name's Katie Vick now.
Listen, I don't really care about her. I just hate that she's glorified for things I've seen recently in 2021 be called ghetto for black wrestlers.
The same people that glorify her is the same people that say, "Oh, Naomi got a big ghetto booty."
Yes, and see, that's what I forgot. I think Naomi did this TikTok side by side with Sunny Kiss. Mm-hmm. And here are the people in the comments. And I'm like, first of all, but this is hers. Like, this is her ass. Okay, that's their actual body that they have. How is that different than somebody who did things? And if people, let me be clear, if people feel like they need to do whatever to change their parts of the body.
No, I'm not surgery shaming her.
Fine. My issue is that it's glorified when shit's clearly taking from.
Look good, whatever makes you happy on the inside, but right. But if you go overboard, you cannot feel any type of way when someone talks about it. She looks a mess.
I don't really think her face doesn't move. I don't even like
her face. Look. Her face don't do that. It has no expressions. Her body looks stiff and clay formed. It's like you give kids clay and say make a person, and that's what it looked like a child made with fake abs. So what the main point about it is not even the trash of her. She could be an amazing person. She could be a wonderful person. We don't know her personally. She could be the nicest person you ever met. She can be just like great. But the whole black aesthetic that a lot of these people do. These people do.
Yes.
And it's just now like, oh, it's hit. It's sorry, it's pop culture. It's the wave. It's the trend. All of that stuff is whack. And I will get on her ass every time I see her because it's fucking whack.
Yep.
But she could be an amazing person, and if I meet her, I'll tell her the same shit to her fucking face.
Let's gotta respect that. That's how I am too. That's how I feel. She might be a nice person. I just hate that her gimmick is literally that. That's what the gimmick is. It's like you're being like, how wretched, and I hate that word, but how wretched or get can you be? That's literally what it is, and people glorify it. But I'm like, y'all, the same people who was saying that Bianca was ghetto for saying
that little offbeat clap and A she was doing. How you offbeat with an A to nothing? It was no music, it was no nothing because it was empty arena and her A's was offbeat. No. Now, if you wanted to be just like a fucking sexy browsers bitch, be a sexy browsers bitch. You know?
I agree.
But this A and these boots and this twerking and this stiff twerk at that.
I don't get it. But yeah, that was my reason. I couldn't argue yesterday. I was like, I don't have it in me to like fight with people today. But I wanted to, because I kept seeing it. I'm like, y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta stop glorifying mediocrity, because that was mediocre. That was mediocre, and y'all keep glorifying that. Stop it. Stop it.
But let any of the black girls come out and do anything like it. Oh, she's ghetto.
And I feel like, because you like mentioned it, made me think of Faye Jackson. I freaking love her.
Oh, they say Faye Jackson is. No, what did they say about her? They said she has an attitude.
So the fact that, like Faye Jackson is who she is, and I love that about her. She's very authentic. And I guarantee you, if she did that somewhere and was like, let me not wrestle, but I'm gonna instead come out in wrestling gear and twerk and nothing else but twerk, and watch how different that the lens will be on that if that's what she did.
They call Faye Jackson. Some people talk about Faye for what Faye does.
And I'm just like, how is that? No, because no. I just feel like
it's trash.
Black culture should not be used as a gimmick. And I'm not saying every black woman twerk, because I can't twerk. I'm not gonna sit here like I cannot. However,
I mean, I probably can, but I'm
no, I know. If we were honest right now, I cannot.
I have no rhythm, so it's not. It would probably look like
I cannot
as well. I wouldn't embarrass myself to do that little. But here's the thing. If I actually try to twerk, since I actually have my own butt, guess what? It'll move different. Probably actually move better.
Hey, Stephane, how are you? What's up? So yeah, that was and I guess I'm trying to uplift women. It is Women History Month, but that just really irritated me.
We'll uplift women soon, but not. That's just trash. It's a trash gimmick. It's a trash gimmick. This is why everybody's so protective of black culture, and everybody's like, oh, what is black culture? It's fucking our shit. When you are doing shit that mirrors what we do and we get fucking trashed for it, you're fucking trash, and I will always call you fucking trash. Period. Like, you're fucking trash. I don't care if you're fucking RVD. You look like fucking dust at this.
You're like, oh, when is she coming to the Hall of Fame? I was like, but why? We don't need to see her like.
I wonder what that dress is gonna look like. Ill-fitted.
It's probably a mess. I mean, I'll be surprised if she surprised me and not do what I think she's gonna do, but I'll be surprised by that.
Yo, she can come to the Hall of Fame. They'll just not put her in camera frame. Not like they did do it before. Remember when Steph was dating when Steph was dating the Nazi girl? Fuck that, the Nazi bitch. Remember when he was dating the Nazi bitch that he cheated on his ex-fiance with? She was with him and came to a Hall of Fame. That bitch was not on the camera.
WWE can be petty.
Then she was at a Hall of Fame when she was dating Sonya Deville. That bitch was not on the camera.
So yeah, if you're gonna do a gimmick and you feel something that's like true to you, and that's perfectly fine. I do appreciate a gimmick. Like, of course, you can switch your gimmick up to not be who you are as a person, but that type of gimmick is like, I'm not okay with that. I don't like that's like me saying I'm gonna magically become a Puerto Rican person, and now I'm gonna do everything in my power to act like I'm the Puerto Rican people that people joke about and talk about. For what? What does that get me?
If it feels and sounds forced.
And again, I don't want anybody taking offense to anything I'm saying. I'm saying that we know there's. Let me clarify: New York City Puerto Rican people. There's a bit of a difference between New York Puerto Ricans and other Puerto Ricans.
It's a bit different between New York everything and everything else.
So if I was to like pretend I was magically and then let me start doing these things, I would hope somebody would call me out and be like, Katrina, no, what are you doing?
They'll call you out because you're black. But if you was a white girl with a bunch of surgery, they probably wouldn't call you out.
Well, that too.
So we're here, but I kind of want to jump into something that kind of mirrors it. Brandy Rhodes. And that's a damn shame that all I have to do is say her fucking name. She don't even know where I want to go. She don't even know what I want to get into.
I feel like I do, but I'll let you. I feel like I know where you're going with this. I feel like I do.
It's like a lot of people, listen, more power to her. She's the first Black VP, all that stuff, my little fist. More, rock on.
Yes.
All good. Do the fucking thing, right? But how do you feel about her as a Black woman crusade that she's been on since they started AEW? Since they started AEW, and a lot of the AEW, the white AEW fanboys have been calling her all types of niggers and shit like that. Because it wasn't as a Black woman crusade when she was in WWE.
So this is my issue with Brandy. I do appreciate that she's the first Black one. I think that's always, if you can break whatever barrier you can break and hit a milestone, by all means do so. My issue is I think she pick and chooses the wrong things to complain about. So like I did see, because I got on like super late Sunday on Twitter, and somebody I write for his site. He said something. I think she mentioned something where the transcript said something about she was gonna like give her like her. It's implied that she called her child like a problem or whatever, and that she would get a nanny. So he was just like, wait, what? Like trying to understand, and then she responded to it. And the response was, oh, I can't believe people are jealous. I'm getting like a reality show. And I'm like, sis, that ain't what it said though. Like I had to like really look, like maybe I missed something. So I took some time to maybe he said something that was rude. Because AEW fans do the most sometimes. And they were like going hard at him. And then all of a sudden, and he's a white dude. So he was like, well, I'm not, he's a parent. So I'm like, well, I know he's a parent. I've seen the kid. So I'm like, I get it. Like, listen, sometimes I wish I could have a nanny and like take my kids. Sometimes my kids get on my last nerve. I love them. But sometimes, so I totally understand that aspect, but I'm like, how do him saying that it came off wrong because whoever transcribed that, I read the thing and I'm like, all right, this does imply that this is what you're saying. Now, whoever wrote the transcript, maybe they were wrong in it and they didn't do it right. And I guess that's on the person who's transcribing the, the interview and stuff.
Oh, did we lose Katrina, guys? Oh, I gotta check.
With regard,
we lost you again.
Oh, damn. You got me now? We good?
Yes, we're good.
Instead of her addressing that part, like, she addressed the part that she was implying he was hating for a reality show. And I'm like, sis, I don't think we care that much. Like, it's not. How is that the thing you took out of all of that?
Can I interject?
Yes.
One, I wasn't going there, but I'm so glad you telling me that, because this whole... Right. He was saying too much. The whole this whole total Cody is actually a total Brandy, right? Like the TV show. And we was like, why does Cody just want to appease himself and be front and center? No. This show is for Brandy because Brandy's pregnant and she wants to be on TV. So we won't forget her when we actually should forget her because she was the worst part. But it's to appease Brandy. So now it's like, oh, we get to see Brandy, Baby, and Nanny on their reality show. So that shows you that she wanted this reality show just for vanity purposes. And the people who watch Total Cody or Total Brandy, however you want to phrase it, that's what it's for. So those same people who fucking bash the Bellas and say they only want to be on TV, y'all can suck a dick because now Cody and Brandy's doing that. Started that with 1. 2, it is no problem with getting a nanny if you have the means for it, especially if it's your first child, especially if you're on the road, especially because they're on the road. So she's going to need extra help if she's going to try to actively work. No issues. The way you phrased it was probably wrong as fuck, and that's the thing with Brandy. Brandy says a lot of shit that she should have said better. Because like when the George Floyd thing happened, sorry, my tongue is all tied. She said something about it and then made it about herself and as a Black woman and how she's treated as a Black woman. But, right? So it's another thing where you should just shut the fuck up, Brandy. Matter of fact, not even shut the fuck up. We don't need to silence you. You need to, I don't know, get someone who works media in AEW and just straight have y'all all media trained. because there aren't.
Like she definitely like, and that's not the first time. I think when she had that whole thing with the heels, I don't know what it's called, that where it was supposed to be the special women programming for women to like.
Well, if you don't buy heels, you're not supporting the women's division.
And I'm just like, or you guys could put the women's division on TV. Like, I don't.
Well, if you brought heels, then maybe they would have got more matches.
I felt like just the way, because like I said, they were like attacking him. And I'm just like, I get you guys are fans of people, but I will never go to, like, I love plenty of people. I really do, but I'm not going this hard for nobody. I cannot pay my bills who don't know me personally. I'm going to go this hard. For what? It's not, and I'm literally sitting here like, ma'am, but I read it too. And I'm a writer. I feel like that's what it said too. So I'm like, maybe that's not what you meant. But if you feel like you're not somebody who can get your thoughts together properly in a cohesive way that makes sense, or don't at least express what you mean, maybe you should have somebody else. That's always, I feel like as an adult, I am so sorry. As an adult, there's no excuse for that. About, oh, I didn't really mean that. That's not what I meant to say, but that's what you said. Like, I expect that from children. I expect that from teenagers because you're still processing. But as an adult, you better figure out how to, if you're going to be on social media, on a public forum, before you hit a send or you give an interview, you make sure it is very clear about what you say. So nobody can misconstrue
it. Mean what you say.
And she does this a lot. And it's like, why is this the thing that you get upset about your stupid reality show? That is not even on TV yet. But there's all these other things that you just kind of gloss over. Like, or the fact that you got half of your top stars over there are very problematic. Like, you're supposed to be one of the top people according to what these positions are. So why didn't y'all say anything about that? And I get the whole supporting the people you work for, but if you're doing something problematic, I'm going to say something. I don't care. This is not friends and kumbaya. This is money. So if this is my company or this is company we're in together and you're being problematic, well, then we're going to have to say something about this. She's always very quiet about that. And I'm like, but this is the thing you're sitting here getting upset about and you having more people attack him over this. But that's what you said. As a parent, because people was like, oh, I was like, no, I got the reference that sometimes you need a break. Hell yeah, you do. Totally understand that. I have kids. I understand.
You don't even have the baby to know you're going to need a break.
But that wasn't what it said. And I was like, no, I read it. I had to make sure I read it a couple of times to make sure. I was like, okay, I would have read this and got the same thing that he did. Like, oh, you're calling your kid a problem that didn't get here yet. Like, child didn't even hear you. How is it a problem already? Didn't do anything yet. Like, the child is not even here. What if your child is amazing? What if your child is having a bad baby or anything? Like, what if your child grew up to be great? You might not get a badass child. You don't know. So I felt that, and I was like, yeah, I guess as a parent, if you're saying it and you never even got the kid yet, that's like, well, wow, already? You just want to push your baby off to somebody? Like, I get that, like, why he felt that way as a parent. But I was like, for you guys to, like, she, like, retweeted it and quoted it and whatever the crap, and she was like, go. And I'm just like, ma'am, it's stop. I need you to have this energy for the women's division. I need you to have this energy for when you're, like, when you're trying to supposedly, and I don't want to say, because that wasn't, to me, it wasn't code switching, because I code switched. That wasn't it. That was, like, you're pretending to code switch. And then the way she was like, she did, like, even like the fact that I've been waiting for her to respond to the fact how she talked to Jade like that. I'm like, so can you explain what was the thot process behind your gimmick switch?
Right.
Like, and I would love to honestly know.
You know what? They're not gonna adjust. They're not gonna address it because they didn't address when Dustin Rhodes said it. Oh,
absolutely not.
Dustin Rhodes tweeted and deleted. He tweeted and deleted. Yeah, that I don't know if he said bitch, but he said her ratchet ass and all that crazy shit. I was like, oh, you Dustin. Oh, no. Brandy didn't get away with it, but she barely gets a pass because well, she's black. But no, Dustin. He got that shit the fuck out of there too. I think I got a screenshot of it. But yeah, no, like, that's whack as fuck. And she doesn't have any reign over the women's division because that's Kenny Omega, clearly. Let's see. Her title is vanity. Her title is a vanity type. And if she has an opinion or anything, if it gets over, that's mainly because of Cody. Because, you know, that's her husband. And and I don't want to sit there and say, oh, she has a vanity title. But she does. That's what it is. And it's crazy because her title is Chief Branding Officer.
Which means,
how are you the chief branding officer when you cannot even get your thoughts out properly in an interview?
That is true.
You couldn't brand that AEW heels to us in a point where it made sense. And what did you do? You got flushed on the internet and you deleted your Twitter. That is your chief branding officer of AEW.
That is true. Like, so that is
it's a vanity title. And if that's really her position, that shows you what the fuck that company is doing.
Nothing.
Is she really in that position?
like let's listen. I already had my issues with like I said, there are things about AEW that's okay, I guess. But then there's things that I'm like, y'all gotta stop excusing it because they're not gonna change it if you guys keep glorifying it.
No, they don't know. No, in fact, no. They're fanboying or fangirling over the hype. It's a hype train. It's like Supreme. This is all the rage. Even though Supreme puts out subpar shit, they're gonna buy it because the name is on it. So with that, it's really ridiculous, and I don't want anybody to think like, oh, I think she's a dumbass and shouldn't have that position. She's really intelligent. She's educated. She's smart, but she doesn't talk with the poise that she needs to have that title and that job. And it's not about her being like uneducated or whatever. She is educated. She's just grossly not equipped to have that job. All of them are grossly unequipped to have the titles they have. Hi, Andre. All of them are grossly unequipped to have the titles they have. They're all executives and all of these other titles that they're giving them. And that's why the company is in the shape it's in, because of bullshit like this. And yes, I quoted fucking Hulk Hogan, because the company could be doing better, but you do not have the right people backstage because you have all of these wrestlers and wrestlers' wives in these top positions making decisions. There's too many cooks in the fucking kitchen. Go to YouTube and listen to the song when we finish. It's too many fucking cooks. But we're not here to talk about AEW. I just wanted to bring out.
No, I definitely agree with you. Like I said, I like that she's able to get the brand. But again, if you're branding, and the last I checked, you have to know how to work media. You have to know how to work the brand. At least that's what I thought, unless I'm grossly wrong about this. And I guess somebody correct me if I am. But I thought that's what it meant. That you're at least supposed to know how to get your thoughts across. Like, that's one of the main things if you're branding. If it's your brand, you should know how to get that across. So
they just gave her the title because her name is Brandy. So she could say, I'm Chief Brandy Officer. You know what's crazy? Linda wasn't equipped to do the shit, but you know what happened? Linda wasn't worried about reality TVs and being on TV and calling people ratchet and all that other shit. And she actually learned her job. Matter of fact, let me see what Linda's degree is. Oh, are you talking about Linda with Trump? Because I'm talking about like Linda back in the day. Like Vince.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Linda McMahon, like if it's Linda McMahon with regards to like the storylines, like I feel like it was a family thing and it worked. Like, did I need to see her? Not necessarily. But I also didn't. I just need people to imagine Vince McMahon going to Twitter and doing half the stuff that Tony Khan does. Or if Stephanie McMahon got on Twitter and did some.
Don't even go to Twitter and
that Brandy, like that's what I mean. I feel like if this is your position, you might like in that case, you better switch to Twitter. You better get that unknown private Twitter that nobody knows about if you feel like bitching about something. But if this is your brand Twitter, you probably need to know how to be on it. And I feel like half of the AEW roster who are in head positions. Yeah. Oh man. I feel like if that is your job and your job is one of these head titles of a company, you shouldn't be doing the shenanigans on Twitter. I feel like half of the AEW people on Twitter are like 15-year-old children. Like, I'm like, can somebody please grow up over there, please? Like, can we not? But
here's the thing. Linda working with Vince, I'm done on her Wikipedia. She graduated college. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not reading. What the fuck? Yeah. She has a bachelor's degree. It doesn't say what she has it in, but it's probably business related. Definitely business related. She worked as a paralegal. She has a lot of shit that can help in the positions that they were in when they first started out. So I just wanted to make sure like Linda was equipped, and she was, and she did her job well, but she wasn't Chief Brandy Officer. I just don't like the silly shit Brandy does on the internet. I don't like the silly shit any of them do on the internet.
Okay.
My whole stance when I'm not watching them until I feel they have something for me is mainly based on a lot of silly shit I see on the internet.
That's same. Oh. And they're fans. I'm like,
before the fans were even like that, they were doing silly shit on the internet.
It's like I want to give you guys a chance sometimes, and then I see some nonsense. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm fine.
If Vince was doing silly shit on the internet, I wouldn't watch it. All we had to do was see Vince angrily fucking practically assault interviewers. And I love that shit.
Or at least take it to the show itself if you're gonna like incorporate whatever you want to incorporate into a storyline, whatever. But it's like y'all do it on like every possible, and I'm like, can we not?
Vince did that. Like people were calling him like he killed Owen and he could have stopped the show. Like serious shit that they were saying Vince does. Like he fucking was giving people steroids and caused a lot of people to die. So him getting frustrated and being ready to fight, he's being attacked for a lot of shit. Not someone saying, "You look stupid with that blonde hair."
Oh man. What are your thoughts? Because I saw this and I was just like, yeah, you have to stop. Even though I didn't know this years ago about the whole Ronda Rousey going back around that you have like the black great grandfather and people.
I wish that everybody who engaged in that stupid Ronda Rousey is fucking black, whatever on Twitter. I wish all of you know how stupid you looked.
Oh man.
And she's sitting there joking and no, don't give this bitch room to joke. He's not. It's
yeah. When somebody was like, she could say the N-word, I was like, no, she can't.
Here's the thing. They was like, her grandfather's black. Yo, her grandfather looked like he was half black himself. It was like, oh, she's what did they said? Eighth black? Nah, probably.
Yeah, her great grandfather. I was like, well, my great grandfather is white. I'm not white all of a sudden. I am still black. My great grandfather, very much her great grandfather. My grandfather's father was a white dude. I'm black.
My grandfather's mother.
I'm not gonna that 1/8. Like, all of a sudden, no, we're fine.
My father's mother was a white woman.
Like, I don't. So even though I did hear this some years ago, I'm just like, why is this making the rounds again? But why y'all take about she could say the N-word? No, I wished how she would. The moment she felt comfortable enough to even get that N-word off is like, okay. Okay. That's not even a funny thing to joke about. Like, how does her
Rousey's blackness is like a nickel to $1. It ain't worth shit. It ain't worth shit. It ain't worth shit. It's not.
And let's be real. A lot of things are split up because you know the history, America's history. But I was like, we're not gonna sit here and act like sis has like a full black parent.
Listen, and I know that jokes, but it's just like no, because these idiots take shit like that serious.
Yep, and that's what I was seeing. That's what I was like. You can tell when people were generally joking. You know, black Twitter jokes about everything. Totally understand that part. But then you could tell the other ones. I was like, no. That's where we have to draw the line there. This is not that all of a sudden she's going to be saying the N-word and she got no. I wish she would. I don't care what grandparent is black. Don't care. I don't care what her great grandfather did. Don't care.
And if she does, I don't want to see any of you joking ass niggas mad at it. Y'all put it on.
Oh, there's quite a few of that. Like it's okay. Like no, it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. Like don't even put that out there, and don't put that in the energy in the air like that. It's not okay at all.
God, trash. But it's 30 minutes in. I think we could give them our Bow Wow update.
Yes. Yes.
Last month you was here with us, and we talked very long about Bow Wow. We're not going to do that this time. But Bow Wow update. A month later, he never even showed up at Rikishi's school. And this is not even me saying, oh, he's not posting that he's there. No. My reliable source got it from a reliable source. He never even stepped foot in the motherfucking school. So I hope if Randy's still here, please tell Kiki that Bow Wow and shit.
Oh man. I just do y'all who was telling people to give him a chance and all. I just need y'all to understand because I honestly didn't care enough to know if he went. I just found out he didn't go to the school. So I just need to know how y'all feel. Yeah, y'all was going so hard for somebody who was very obvious did not really want to wrestle. Like it was obvious that wasn't his dream. That was obvious to me, at least. And y'all was
so that little. Listen, That little Oklahoma belt he was carrying. When you said he been the champ, it's cap.
This is yes, like Stan says often. Capping hard. Cap so hard for that. Oh man, listen. He really irritates my soul. Like I try not to be like petty, but he irritates.
Fuck that.
He irritates my soul to a different level.
You know what? Be petty because he's desperate for attention. He's desperate for attention. You know how many times he wrote on the internet, "Oh, I should kill myself." So everybody's like, "No, Bow Wow, we love you."
Ew.
If someone used suicide for attention, then fuck that nigga.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not even Snoop, B. Not even Snoop, B. Not even Snoop. He saw Bad Bunny in WWE and thought that if I say I want to come to WWE, WWE was going to be desperate enough to bring his ass on, and then he could have a match with Bad Bunny, and then he could try to get a song with Bad Bunny and revive his rap career.
See, I'll give Bad Bunny that. He's legit still actually doing stuff. Like, I don't necessarily care for it, but he's still like, he's still there. Apparently he was serious enough to do this much effort. So you give him that.
He's
Bow
there
Wow Bow Wow's just talking nonsense. And I was like, I don't know why people really believed he really was serious. I was like, if this was a dream, I would have heard this. Like, I was a Bow Wow fan when I was like 13. We are the same age, so
I wasn't really a Bow Wow fan, but
no, I wasn't a big fan, but I did like his like first album or so. Like it was catchy. Like, all right, it works. You know, I appreciated that part, but I felt I would have known you was a wrestler if you wanted to be wrestling.
I didn't like little niggas when I was a kid.
Yo, basically, that's what it is. Like, I wish I could just be like, you know, one day, like, I want to wrestle too. Like,
right.
Maybe just never wanted to wrestle, but now today is the day I want to wrestle. Like WWE. Right. Here I am. Like that's how it works. No training, no school. Just like you got Twitter. Let me tell y'all, I want to go to WWE and wrestle. I want to be WrestleMania's main event. I would look real stupid saying that. I would look real stupid saying that. Just saying.
See, if Bow Wow don't even got an agent that he can make call WWE. Nigga try to go on Twitter and get it popping. Listen, I don't want to talk about Bow because then that's gonna lead to Soulja Boy, and it's just annoying at this point. Everybody's annoying. It's annoying.
Yes, agreed. Definitely. He irritates myself.
Like, stop feeding into it. Stop liking and retweeting and shit. Stop liking and retweeting what Randy Orton is saying, because that's even more fucking annoying. You know, Randy's a little racist. Sorry, he's not racist. He's a little bigot. Not everybody's racist. A lot of people are bigots, though.
Yeah, agreed.
You're a little bigoted. So, you know, just let's leave these things alone.
What are your thoughts about the Sasha Banks Bianca Belair match? Because
it is trash and boring as fuck.
And I'm so upset.
It is whack. All the fuck you had to do was just let these girls cut promos on each other. You didn't need fucking Reginald. You don't need Nia. You don't need Shayna. So now that they're like out of that part, now Nia, Shayna, and Reginald is fucking doing a tag team match to get the fucking Raw Women's quick match together. What the fuck are y'all doing? Why does Reginald, a man, need to be involved with the women's title pictures? Both of them. Why does Nia and Shayna, who have belts of their own, involved with this? Why don't you use the other women that you have in random ass matches in a feud with the tag team champions, so we can have a match with the tag team champions on the 2-day Mania that we are having this year? Why the fuck are they so heavily involved? And it's like, how many 2 weeks to Mania? A week and a half?
Yeah. Damn. It is like a week and a half.
And we gotta watch these niggas face on a go-home show. Who the fuck is Shayna and them fighting at WrestleMania? Who? Why do we need to see this? It's like, yo, here's the thing. I'm not watching WrestleMania. I do not plan to watch WrestleMania. I'm not purchasing Peacock. Why is he even?
I don't even know. I don't know why he was with Carmella originally. Like, I don't felt like I didn't think he needed to be there, but he was there.
Right.
And the next minute he was like messing with like Sasha Banks, and I'm like, okay. And then he was with, and I'm like, so why is he in everybody's feud? What is his purpose?
Just put him on 205 Live already, please.
Like, I don't understand that. And I feel like I was really excited for this Bianca and Sasha match because I love Bianca. And it was like, all right, we get 2 black women. Let's have them, do their thing. And I felt like they completely muddled up the story. So now I don't care. And I hate that because I was so excited for Bianca's win.
Bianca shouldn't be getting bitched out by Sasha. She's fucking 4'7". And like 120. And we see Bianca pick up Otis.
Oh yes.
Why the fuck is Sasha beating Bianca's ass? Why is she slapping her to the ground? She picked up fucking Otis and carried him. Why is Sasha slapping her to the ground?
And granted, if you want to play that Sasha's that mean girl, fine. But even so, to have Bianca just kind of sit there, I'm like, nah, what is this? She picked up Otis with ease. Like, Sasha is nothing.
Stan, what were you told about at TOS? If you're still here, what was you told about working as the little guy? Please put it in the comments. Because Sasha's the little guy. How the fuck is one slap taking Bianca to the ground? Why the fuck is she able to mush Bianca? Bianca should have punched her and Sasha should have been knocked the fuck out.
Listen, I feel like that this is why y'all wouldn't know this. I mean, you would know because I said on Twitter a few times. I would love to get into WWE's writing room and be like, listen, guys.
You wouldn't last.
I feel like I wouldn't because one, I'm a black woman, but I feel like my thinking process of how we're gonna make this look.
They would say you have an attitude problem and fire you.
I feel like you need somebody in the writing room who kind of could put a story together and make it make sense because I need things to make sense. I am a firm believer. Like, I get it's fiction and I get it's just a storyline, but it still needs to have some kind of cohesive piece to make sense.
Yeah.
Bianca getting slapped to the ground to me does not make sense. I definitely agree. We've seen Sasha be heel before. If you're gonna make her go heel. But the slap in, like she's just like a like bougie, like mean girl. It's like, no, because Bianca probably can really kick your ass. Like, realistically, I really feel like she could. I didn't like that she was on the floor like that. I hated that they just completely I just hate that they completely ruined what I was really excited for. This was the one match I was truly
the agent? For. There's no agent telling them like, Sasha, you shouldn't slap her to the floor. You're 55 pounds.
And see, and I'm okay with tweening, depending on who the wrestler is. If you can tween properly, fine. But Sasha is like, either you're gonna do it or you're not. And I don't like that they have Bianca being like, we know Bianca's, I guess, the face, but we also know Bianca can give the business if she needs to give the business. I felt like I don't know what they're doing. And it just makes me very sad because I really, really I really was excited for this match. Like, I was happy for Bianca.
Was the main reason I was interested in WrestleMania. And then
I hope so.
And then
if
I got excited
pop up out of nowhere and ruin this, I'm gonna be ready to flip some shit. Like, for real.
I got excited for Bobby, so now both of them are like, this ain't shit, and it's gonna be it. Yep, it does.
It does. It does.
It does.
It does. Because I was so excited for Bianca. I was like, yes, we're gonna get this really amazing match, and then no. Oh, okay, all right. And then you guys having them do the tag, which I didn't even understand why you guys were trying to have them become tag team champions. Like, that storyline doesn't work for her and Bianca. It worked for her.
It worked for no one.
It did. I was okay with her and Bayley being the tag team champions because of that weird friendship they had, like that frenemy type friendship. It kind of worked. Like, oh, we can be tag team champions right now, but I really want to be women's champion. That to me actually made some sense. But Bianca, it's like you just threw her in this match for what? Like, there are other women on the roster. Just have them go against all the actual tag teams instead of breaking up the Iconics, which I really don't like. You broke them up to put them in another tag team or whatever the case may be, and you're still trying to find tag team opponents for the tag team titles. Well, you have some tag teams there. Use them. Use them.
Or
we don't need Bianca and Sasha randomly in the match. We don't need Reginald randomly just being there because they're like, I don't understand his purpose at all. Like, I don't even know what to call him. Like, you can't call him a manager. I can't call him like a bodyguard. Like, he's just there being like that annoying guy at the corner store that you just like, yo, get out of my face. That's the vibe I get from Reggie every time I see him on my TV. It's like, bro, why are you here? Why are you in the space? That's the vibe I get. And it's not necessary. And it makes me sad because that was like the one thing I was really excited for this. I was like, yes, let's let the women do their thing.
Don't want to see it.
And I love Rhea Ripley. I love her. I just hope they don't ruin her on Raw. I don't even know, like WWE would be with shenanigans sometimes. I just feel like they're going to ruin her.
You know what? Down the line they would. I don't think they're gonna ruin her just yet. Because when they start out strong, you can tell that they see something and they might do something with. But eventually, they're gonna fuck with her. So the women's division ain't shit right now. It's they're giving good shit. They're giving good things, but it's WrestleMania. It ain't nothing. You know, this Mania ain't Mania. None of this is happening. So I want to touch on something Swole said, and I'm trying to like find the tweet as I talk to you because it's good. Yeah, you can tell they want to do something well.
I'm okay with Rhea Ripley. I love her. I loved her at NXT. I was happy that she like the whole thing, even though Charlotte won that, and I was kind of annoyed by that. I love Rhea Ripley. She's like super badass, and she's also very authentic to her gimmick, and I'm okay with that. I just hope that she's not put in some nonsense.
Eventually, you know?
And then I'm just like, so here we go, ruining somebody else that I actually like. That's what I felt like they did with Bianca. Like, it's like, she was so great, and you guys move her to the other brand. Oh, yeah, I think she was on Raw first, right? You move her to SmackDown, and then now here we are with this shenanigans and WrestleMania. This is supposed to be like the biggest night of her. This is supposed to be her biggest night of her career, WrestleMania, her first main event type of a match. And I don't even know what's happening. It's like I'm not even the excitement I had is completely
not interested in it. It's not interesting. It's upsetting me and my homegirls. It's upsetting. So I want to touch on something Big Swole said earlier. She put out a tweet because you know the New Japan belt is ugly. And someone said it looks like the Divas belt. So she posted it. She said that butterfly belt was iconic and we will not allow any slander. Her name is Divas. Those women work through hell and high water for a woman like myself to have a solid chance in wrestling, and the seeds are blooming. Now, fuck that belt conversation. I want to talk about that because a lot of the people brush off the Divas except for like AJ Lee and Paige. They're like, oh, those were the only good ones. Those are the only ones that actually wrestled. And Paige wrestled. AJ did a couple moves. Did a little something sometimes. Her matches wasn't good. And it's not because she didn't have good people to work with, because a good wrestler can carry a fucking broomstick. I.e. Ric Flair. I.e. Bret Hart. I.e. Shawn Michaels. If you are a good wrestler, you can fucking carry water. So her matches weren't good. You know why they weren't good? Because she wasn't as good as everybody makes her seem. Now, it's not to shit on AJ Lee. It's not to shit on AJ Lee.
Ooh, yo, my thoughts on that list.
Who's
that list?
That's where we're ending. And that's where we're ending. We are ending with that list.
That list, man. That list.
So.
Oh, man.
So, I don't want to shit on her because, you know, she worked hard and she loved it and she adored it. She adored it. And anybody who loves the business, you know what? I fucks with you. There's a lot of people who's there, especially women, who don't love the business. But they shit on the Divas. They shit on the Bellas. They shit on fucking Alicia Fox.
I feel like I gotta always, the Alicia Fox conversation, I feel like I gotta always go with people. I'm like, she didn't necessarily need to be like super intricate in the ring to not be appreciative of what she's done. And I think people ignore that. I was like, just because I was like, we're not gonna act like she wasn't wrestling longer than a lot of people, even some of the men wrestle, because she has been. We're not gonna act like she didn't, like, even her actual moveset. If you actually watch a lot of her matches of what she was able to do in the ring, a lot of people couldn't even do that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna ignore that. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like she was like a legend. I don't like a legend, like legendary as far as she like did certain things. I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking this for 25 years from now. But we're not going to ignore that she was actually really good for the women's division. And I feel like people always ignore that about Alicia Fox. That actually makes me very upset. Because people's like, oh, how she, we're going to ignore her, like, we're going to ignore that she actually could wrestle? Because she could. Very well, actually.
Yep.
Like, so, I don't even think she made that list, because the list was mentioned. I don't even think she was on that list, honestly. And that was bullshit to me.
Because I don't remember.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
I don't remember who's on
when that list comes to happen, I'm gonna go to a wreck because I was annoyed with that shit.
The Alicia Fox thing, right? I was talking to, I don't even remember his name. The test of strength guy, the TLS guy. Stan, what is his name? I hate that I forget people's names. I was talking to him like while Stan was planning a match he was about to have, and I was talking to him, and I was talking just about women in the business of wrestling. And I talked about how people say Alicia Fox isn't a legend. And he was like, well, is she? I said, Alicia Fox was in the company for like 12, 13 years.
Exactly. She definitely, like, listen.
In a company where women don't stay around for fucking 5, basically, to be there that long and they have to retire you, you're a legend. Because women aren't there long.
Yep. Women
aren't in the business for long at all. And it's not like she was there long and couldn't fucking wrestle. She can wrestle from fucking jump.
She could.
And he was like,
she actually had some of the most dopest pins. Like the way she was able to, I'm like, I wish I could contort my body to pin some, to do this. Like you able to pull off these really cool pins. And like, just because she didn't, like, they didn't know, and I feel like they didn't really know how to do with her correctly. And that was a part of it.
And the fact that she played crazy good. Because she's half, I feel Alicia Fox half crazy because I watch Total Divas. But the fact that she can play that character that good shows that you couldn't give her a lot of other things to do.
That is true.
Most exactly. Exactly. So the fact that she was there in the WWF that long, she's a legend off rip.
And wasn't she the first Black Divas champion, if I'm not mistaken?
The only Black Divas champion. So a lot of people like shit on the Divas division in its whole. And you shit on it and try to be like, well, they're not like Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch in Charlotte. If it wasn't for them bitches, I don't want to call them bitches if I'm trying to talk them up. If it wasn't for those women, there wouldn't be them. There would be no division for them. People talk bad about like the Vince Russo days of women's wrestling. Alundra Blaze killed women's wrestling in the WWF. If Vince McMahon didn't think Sable was hot, there would be nothing for the division. So what they did is, she's not wrestling. We're going to teach her a couple of things on the road, and we're just going to find matches that worked for her. They thought she was sexy? Take off your clothes. That was a take off your clothes era. And a lot of people try to be like, oh, Vince Russo didn't do good for the women's division. Let me tell you a secret.
Hey.
Hi, Rory. Let me tell you a secret. Go back. That was the atmosphere of the time period. Women weren't respected until recently. And we're barely respected. Barely respected. Go watch a television show from around then. Go watch it. Go watch a hood movie, B. How many times you see a bitch get raped or get put hands on her, or I'm gonna beat that hoe's ass or shit like that? Go watch hood movies from that time period. Go watch any movie from that time period.
Actually, a lot of the shows from that time period was quite problematic for women. Like, I was watching something earlier. I'm like, yo.
That's like, why people were like, oh, he killed the women's division. No, that's how women was treated during that time period. It mirrors life at the time. Wrestling always mirrors life at that time. So now we have like,
man, thank you for stopping by and hanging with us.
It's okay. Listen, exactly. You know why that era was boobs and asses and sex sells? Because that's what it was on television. That's what they were still doing Freaknik around that time.
That's true.
You turn on a music video, what are you seeing?
And then if you got late night at those same videos, there was even the extra part of the video that was like for late nights, but it was there. Like the whole video girl era was that era. The video girl era.
The evening out matches, they just wanted to see you take your clothes off. They was ripping clothes off of Jerry Springer. So, she ripped her top off. We're going to rip this dress off on wrestling. Mud pit matches. Jerry Springer would end up in mud pits, but they would have mud pit matches in bars. They would have wet t-shirt contest or matches that ended up in a pool of water in bars. That was life at that time, and it came in wrestling. It's trash as fuck, but that's the culture. That's what
Oh,
that
yes.
was.
Oh yes.
Listen.
That was the whole thing back then.
Go watch Tip Drill, and then go watch wrestling around the time. You still see the same shit.
That's true.
So everything,
like that time period, it definitely was.
It's like a warped mirror of what's happening in the world. So that's why we had that for so long. And the fact that regardless of whatever, those women were there and they did their job. The fact that, we had Jacqueline, who's being the fucking workhorse of fucking divisions. We had Jazz being a fucking workhorse. We had a lot of these women being, Alicia Fox was the workhorse of the fucking divas.
She was.
Naomi was working her ass off underneath all these women in the women's revolution. So we have these things. So everybody shits on the divas like, oh, they were just there for money. Yes, a fucking job. And if they hire models who are pretty, of course, all the pretty models are gonna come and work and not be taught how to work. The way WWE was finding women at the Divas Church, oh, they can't wrestle. Well, look at the company who didn't teach them how to fucking wrestle. You want to hire models? Put them in a fucking ring. Show them something.
That's true. Because a lot of them either were like former dancers or they modeled in some capacity and they made it to WWE.
And like, I can't stand how people shit on Nikki Bella because guess what Nikki Bella did? She fucking honed her craft and learned.
And granted, I don't really care about the Bellas because I don't. And I never really cared for them.
Listen, and you don't even have to.
But
like,
I do understand aspects that I'm like, yeah, you can't take that from them. No.
And you can't put the fact that they're models and they just came into wrestling on them because that was the company's culture. We just want pretty bitches to be here being pretty bitches. Of course they are. At least they're main eventing.
Yeah, I feel like now women can come in more wanting to know how to wrestle. And I think that's what changed. It's like, oh, we can give good matches too. So why not? And I feel like now it's being appreciated now. Personally, I would have loved seeing more wrestling like this when I was younger, personally, because I think sometimes the women wrestling is better than men matches.
Listen.
But we also can't ignore that, like, ECW and like some of the stuff even in ECW was meant to be like how raunchy and extra can we be? Here we are. Like that's literally what it was. And then not only did we have like the WWE magazines, but a lot of them was on Playboy magazines, and it was to get like the teenage boys to like, oh, let's get some eyes on, more eyes than it wasn't on it before. That's literally what it was. Like, and I think people ignored that part.
I hate how wrestling fans bashed them like, oh, they were only there for this. Yeah. Guess you know why? Because that's what they were hired to be there for.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah. They was getting girls from they went once they got Sable. That's where they went and got all the rest of the girls. Is besides like a couple. They got a few that they know could wrestle, and then all the other girls was just swimsuit models. Trish was a fitness model. Your number one out of the 50th greatest women's wrestler was a fitness model who came in showing tits and ass.
That list got me so irritated. I was like, how is she number? Let's be very clear about. I know you said you want to get to that at the end. I just wanted to say this one point.
Let me jump on one thing before we get to that because we can spend time on that. That's why, like the diva slander and all that, or the divas division and the woman before, I hate it. Yeah. Like they slander it, and then they also slander total divas and total bellas. And I will always tell them, shut the fuck up. Because you know what it did? A lot of people who like love Naomi relentlessly started on Total Divas. The Bellas, it bloomed. A lot of, like me, I didn't give a fuck about the Bellas either. Then I watched Total Divas and said, oh, they stupid. They're so cute. I love the Bellas. They're, Natty's not likable, but Total Divas, she's not. Not on wrestling. Not
No,
on
Natty
not
sometimes
on-
hurts my soul too. Like even I personally can't watch. I couldn't watch Total Divas because I'm not a fan of reality shows. I feel like when you know they're forcing it for the cameras, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't. So I personally
So
do not
you can
like.
see the force for the camera moments, and a lot of them are coming from Natalia.
And I just in general I can't. That's why I don't watch most reality TV is because I cannot stand like oh we're friends, but on the green screen.
Here's the thing, right? The group moments, force for the camera. The John Cena moment, that was real shit. Yeah. Like I just hate how they bash it. I hate how they bash.
No, it definitely showed how they like. I didn't like the era. I didn't like the era when they were taking the clothes off only because I felt like you could have them easily learn if you wanted them to learn. And I hated that part. Like it's like we don't have to show the boobs. Like I want to see them.
You have the men come in and train, whether you get them from a wrestling promotion or not. They still have to train to learn how to wrestle.
So that was that part of the Attitude Era I didn't like because I'm like if you guys really wanted them to learn, you could have trained them if you really wanted to. But I also know there were parts there were parts and matches of the Attitude Era that I'm like, well, if we didn't have this, we definitely wouldn't get like the Sasha Bailey matches that we got, or the NXT dope ass matches we've gotten. So
that correlates strictly to Total Divas. Yeah, that's the only thing likable about Natalia is her husband.
No, I like Tyson Kidd. I just don't like
cats are more related.
I just don't like reality TV. It's not even just I don't generally cannot watch reality TV. I can't. People who watch Love and Hip Hop, I just cannot.
And that's what people say. Oh, it's reality TV, so they just shit on it.
Oh no, I just can't watch it.
As a wrestling fan and wrestling media, I like to take in everything. So even if it is, I didn't like.
No, Finley definitely trained a few, including Trish Stratus, which I was so glad that he did because sis could not wrestle.
Listen, we're gonna get there. She's number one. So
oh man.
So with the Total Divas thing, it's just like the wrestling we have now comes from Total Divas. You know why? Because them doing stupid shit like cutting the women's matches and they only have one match on the card and they don't have pay-per-view matches too much, or it's no single matches for the women on pay-per-view, or we just have like 5 minutes. Oh, our minutes been cut down because this match went long, so we only have 2 minutes. Oh no, this match went long, so our match is cut. It came off on television and it looked bad. So it looked real bad. It looked crazy. So if you have a show about wrestling, but these women are never wrestling because their matches is getting cut or short or whatever, then we got to change that. So the first season, watch the first season. Watch how many times their matches get cut, or it's just a match on Main Event.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I did watch only like a season because I thought Naomi was cool because she didn't really do the drama, and I was like, yeah, I just can't. It's just that's all it is to me. I really cannot. I can't watch any of that reality TV because I'm like, as soon as I see the fighting or like you guys are like we're friends, but then you're talking shit about the person in the green screen. I'm like, first of all, you said that to me, and so in my head it's like
but that's life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what and that's what it should be. It's like, oh no, we're not gonna be friendly, but then you talk shit about me on the green screen. Like no sis. And I can't get into
about me to other people that's friends with me. It's life. See? That's my sisters. You kidding me? But the fact that they fucked up and started cutting these women, fucking them up in the first season, they now put more matches on the card so they can have more footage to cut from each of these divas wrestling. Because you have a show about women wrestlers, but 2 of them wrestles.
That's so true.
Or 4 of them wrestle in the match. So no, we got to get more matches. No, she was not. Rory. I hate Lana.
I honestly would not know. I have no. I don't know.
My hate for Mana starts with that. It grew with her lace fronts, but they started filming more matches for the women to have matches. Now the matches were still short, which led to give divas a chance. But they were still filming more matches, so we got to see women more. Total Divas brought in more of a woman audience. And I said this before about 1,000 times to 1,000 different people. Total Divas brought in more of a woman audience. More women wanted to watch more women wrestle. So then guess what? They started doing more with women. And then the NXT people, they were actually learning how to wrestle because it's a developmental center. And now it's like, yo, we got to learn how to wrestle and we're going to road. So we're getting actually good wrestlers. So guess what? Now that we're filming shows and we have more women's matches, boom, come up. Then Ronda Rousey hit, and then it's just like, no, now you're going to see women in everything. It 100% correlates with that. So everybody's like, oh, it's because AJ Lee. No, she started the hashtag. But the Bellas led to the reality show. And it's not praising the Bellas, it's just praising Total Divas because y'all grossly misunderstand it. More women on the motherfucking roster should be on Total Divas. Sasha wouldn't have to deal with half the shit she dealt with as if she was on Total Divas to show everybody I am a character and I just really love wrestling. The most relatable Sasha has ever been was on the Austin podcast. And guess what? People wouldn't have said you have a bad attitude or you're this or you're that if you was on Total Divas. Charlotte on Total Divas. Why wouldn't we want to see Ric Flair's daughter on a reality show? If Ronda Rousey's ass can come to the company for fucking 8 months and get on Total fucking Divas, y'all motherfuckers could too. Stop acting like you too good for Total Divas. Like, oh, I would never be on Total Divas. Bitch, Becky should have brought her ass to fucking Total Divas soon as she found out she was fucking pregnant. It's a bag, bitch. Get it.
That's true.
2 bags is better than 1 because you get an E-check and you get a WWE check. Y'all niggas are stupid to try to be like, I'm just here for wrestling. Dumbass. You just here for people not to like you and make up rumors about you that you can't come back. When fucking they said Carmella was a home wrecker, she fucking staged something on Total Divas like, I didn't wreck his home. Yes, you did. But congrats for trying.
That I did watch that clip from that. So I'm like, ma'am, you did. And granted, I am a firm believer in you can't technically wreck if the man is allowing it. I'm a firm believer in that.
Here's the thing. He's allowing it. So y'all both wrecking his home.
So, but yes.
Y'all both,
I think it would, I mean, I would have been, it would, I mean, I do believe there should be some privacy in an extent because people feel like they owed too much. But it would have been nice to kind of see a little bit of Becky, like, oh, you're pregnant. Like, how would you, because she's so hard. Like on camera, like how would this chance?
Not even like I feel like Becky's pregnancy was old to me. It wasn't. And if you wanted a quiet pregnancy, ma'am, you could have did that. You could have did that, and you can be out here now like I'm a mom and I'm on Total Divas. Hey y'all, tell us your story about being pregnant during COVID. Yeah. Tell us your story about wrestling at Wrestlemania while pregnant, the only woman to ever do so, because they thought Charlotte was pregnant and fucking took her off of TV.
Oh, that was insane.
I saw that yesterday. Get the fuck out of here, girl.
That's insane.
They suspended her off rip. She ain't even get a chance to take the test and stuff. They said, your levels are high. You're pregnant. Bye.
And see, I don't think people realize, and I don't know if that says more about their doctor staff of how that can change with a woman depending on like a few aspects, depending on what's going on. That can be high, and it's not a pregnancy thing.
CM Punk is full of a lot of shit, but his stories about the doctor, I believe.
I just feel like y'all telling me still in 2021, you don't got a doctor that knows that at least, or a woman doctor to understand that sometimes depending on the month, that might be a bit high.
Katrina, they don't even have women.
Katrina,
they don't even have women to braid the woman's hair properly.
Don't even listen. Like
they don't even have women to do makeup properly.
I am so glad Bianca handles her own like makeup and clothing. And I'm guessing this is why she does.
I'm so glad Naomi outsources her shit.
Because give me 1 second, I cut my light on. It got really dark.
Go ahead. But like I said, stop fucking hating on the woman. Stop hating on the divas. Join Total Divas. Look, you join Total Divas, you could be like Brandy and get your own reality TV show. You joined Total Divas. That's what happened. That's how Miz and Maurice got their own Total TV show. TV show. They was on Total fucking Divas for like a couple seasons. They came off and got Miz and Mrs. We don't care about it, but you know it happened.
Because I don't. Yeah.
We got Total
it's my thing with reality TV. I try and I'm like, no, I cannot. It's too like
Total Bellas and Total
I don't do well with phony behavior, so it's like I can't. That's all. My reason is just I can't do phony. I'm too like in your face. Like, so you said what about me?
I love fake shit. I love to watch
That's
it.
why, and I can't. So that's why I literally cannot watch no reality TV. Like, I haven't watched reality TV since like 2010, maybe.
I love fake shit. I love reality TV. I love all that shit because my life be boring. So I was like, let me watch people fight over a newspaper. Sure. So that's all I wanted to say. Get on Total Divas. It may not even happen, baby girl.
I don't know. I feel like for Becky, it depends on how she's feeling. Like,
exactly. After you have
see, I think people was like, oh, you can't. I was like, first of all, I'm a mom of three. So I was like, two of my kids, I was back to work like as soon as I came home. So there was no resting or any time like maternity leave. I didn't have that. With my middle kid, well, that was like a whole thing with like the family and like his dad and everything, and that was all too much for me to do that. And even then, I was kind of right back to doing what I was doing before. And not that I was wrestling because I'm not that like physically active or anything, but like still, depending on the mom, you could probably have a baby, bounce right back and get back to work. Like people do it all the time, or maybe she wants to be a mom for a while.
If your work is active, you may take a while. Serena Williams almost died having her kid. She took
and she has not. Like, I love Serena Williams. She
hasn't been the same.
But she has not been the same. And I think I don't want to, a lot of men sometimes don't understand that what the body goes through to go back to normal after. Some women never go back.
Nope.
To whatever it was.
Wasn't a good wrestler, but she wasn't as bad as she was after she had her birdie.
Sometimes your body actually never goes back, or you have all these problems you never had before after you have a kid, and then all of a sudden you got all these extra problems that you didn't have before. Unfortunately, that happens. So we'll see.
Maybe have mommy brain and she can't remember shit.
Maybe she wants to enjoy being a mom. I feel like whatever she works with her will work. I mean, would I love to see Becky? Because I did like her. Of course I would. But I also think she needs to decide on her own. Like,
listen, that baby looked like it took her life force. She looked drained and pale. So it may be a while.
That's probably how I look after
it looked like that baby is taking everything from her. So it might be a while before we see Becky.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I think it's like that's definitely depends on how everything is out, because she still has to go back to training mode. Like, and to get that back to that level after a baby might be tough. Like, I'm not a wrestler, so I already said I can never take a bump, because somebody bumped me, I'm gonna be ready to fight for real. So, like, somebody give me a bump in the ring, I'm gonna probably be ready to fight for real and not think it's a storyline. I'm gonna be ready to fight. So, knowing this about myself, I can only imagine how it is for somebody who trained so hard and then have to get back to that level of training when your body is not even back to the way it's supposed to be, if it ever goes back to that.
Listen, let's definitely great. So we can get into this 50 greatest women list, because we have now. I have it in my hands. The 50th greatest.
Are we going from 50 up?
Listen, I'm gonna get to it. I have the 50 greatest WWE women's wrestler of all time in my hands. I have the list. I can read it to you. Now, how do you want me to read it to you? Do you want me to read it straight and then we talk about it, or do you want me to read it and we go one by one?
Oh, we can go one by one, because I feel like
Boom, that's what you gotta say. 50th Toni Storm. 50th Toni Storm.
The fact that Kelly was above Toni Storm.
No, I'm gonna read it. 50th Toni Storm. And we're just gonna go as we are, and then we could talk about it later. 50th Toni Storm. Should she make the list? Should she be 50?
See, now this is my thing. I'm not sure what the qualifications were based on that list.
No, there's no.
If we're basing it off, okay, she had a title before, fine. Then yeah, she belongs on the list. If you're based that she was the UK NXT Women's Champion, correct?
I guess.
So if we're basing it off,
she won the women's thing, didn't she?
So if she was a champion, I believe she was a UK champion.
Mm-hmm.
Then okay, if you're basing it off championships, then I guess she'll be on the list.
Didn't she win the Mae Young Classic?
She might have.
I think she's one.
I'm not a big Toni Storm fan, honestly.
I know it was Shayna, and I think she was the second one. Okay, so let's go to 49.
Well, okay, all right.
Let's go to 49. Let's go to 49. Caitlyn. You remember? Wait. Do y'all remember who Caitlyn is?
I don't know why she's on the list, honestly.
I don't either.
She should not be on the list. And she should, if we're basing it off of some kind of
all of the women in matter of fact, let's because it looks like
Alicia Fox did not make the list.
No,
But Caitlyn did.
Yeah. Listen. So I don't know, but let's say
Hey Ariel.
let's say
Listen.
hi Ariel. let's say the past 30 years, okay? No, not 30, because that's 89. When did Sable came in? Sable came in 96, Sunny and them came in 96. So 96 to now.
So we say like 25, 26 years.
Mm-hmm. So out of the past 25, 26 years, the 50 women that came in, Caitlyn's 49.
I don't know how she beats Toni Storm, if that's the case. I don't know how she's.
Kaylee Ray. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck this is.
So I do. I actually know who she is, but I don't know. I mean, I think she's current.
Is she better than Toni Storm?
I don't think she is.
So then she's already false.
I believe Kate. Let me clarify that. I believe she's the current women's NXT champion. I think so. I could be wrong on that.
The UK champion.
Yeah, I think she currently is. Yeah, they're saying she's so she's the longest reigning UK women's champion, and she's so okay. If you're basing it off that qualification that she's the longest, then I guess she'll belong on the list. I don't think she's above Toni Storm though.
I mean, but okay.
If we're basing it off of
it's
that,
a new championship. It has no tenure, so anybody being the longest, it doesn't really mean anything. They're not gonna put Deanna. Deanna's an Impact. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's I figured I was right about the champion, but no, I don't think she's better than Toni Storm. I don't even care about Toni Storm, but I don't think she's better than Toni Storm.
Number 46, Shotzi Blackheart.
I like Shotzi.
I don't think as
far as the top 50 women of all time, probably not.
In the past couple of years, I don't think any of the past couple of women. I'm sorry. 47 is Sonya Deville. Sorry, my bad. I skipped over her. That shows how I feel about her.
I don't know how Sonya Deville is
wrestling. Sonya's not a good wrestler.
I don't know how she's over Toni Storm either.
No.
Don't know how she's over Toni Storm.
I don't know. So 46 is Shotzi Blackheart.
And I love Shotzi. I actually really love Shotzi. I love her gimmick. She's super fun. I got to speak to her sometime last year. For a while, she was very sweet. Nice person. I don't know if I'll put her top 50 yet. Not in WWE. If you're basing it off of indie stuff, I'll be like, all right, but then this list is completely wrong.
Yes.
If you're basing it off a whole bunch of
WWE's list.
If this WWE's list, no, she does not belong in the top 50.
Honestly, if it's WWE's list, no one in NXT or NXT UK should even be on this.
That's even worse. I'm sorry. This is not to take it away, but if that is the reason, that sucks.
No. If you're not here's the thing. If you're not on the main roster, why are you even on this list? You're not even in the WWE yet. You're in WWE NXT or WWE NXT UK. Why we here? Why are we talking about you? You didn't even make it yet. So how are you on their 50th? I keep saying 50th. Their 50 greatest women's wrestler list. But okay. Okay, so they said they only went back to 1993. So I guess Alundra Blaze is here. 45, Kelly. She's not great. And
I hate she's Pretty Woman and all, but she could not wrestle. When I tell you, I despise seeing Kelly on TV every time because she could not wrestle. I despise her seeing on TV every time.
Does she make this list because she talks to Test Ghost?
Oh God. Yeah, I don't know how the hell she beat the people she beat to beat that number on the list. But Kelly could not wrestle. She was just a pretty face.
Still can't wrestle.
No, she should not. It ain't just you. It is not just you. She should not be on this list. I do not understand how she even got that high. To me, that's too high the list. I don't even know if I'll put her in the top 100, to be real.
No. All right.
Because she could not wrestle.
44, Candace LeRae. I just said it, so I don't have to keep saying it.
She's solid,
she's solid, but not as a WWE greatest because she's not on the main roster. She's been there a cup of water.
Yeah,
I wanted to get up and go to the bathroom while we talked about her.
I didn't. Oh man, this list.
43, Nikki Cross. She's been there a while. She should be in the last 10. So, I'm not mad at that. She's a good wrestler. But last 10 of the greatest list, you could put her there as a wrestler. Sure. Go ahead. Speak your mind. It's your show.
No, I think Nikki Cross can wrestle. I actually hate what they did with her character when she.
Of course, they did this to her character.
But I think she can wrestle. But she's like, I'm okay with her being on the list. I feel like because she actually can wrestle, that I'm okay with her being on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even care. I'm the number like
spot.
That's okay.
The 40 to 50 spot should have been filled with all of these people that were just called up. 42, Layla.
If we're basing off, like, she was an intricate part of the Divas era, Layla. She's too
basing off of appeal and what they were to their division around this point.
Like, wasn't she they had that whole double tag team title when it was her Lay Cool, when it was her and Michelle McCool, right?
She was a part of Lay Cool, yeah.
Then she should be further. If you're basing it off of that, she should be further up the list. Now I know there's people above her that I don't understand how they're above her, but
we're getting there. 41, Ember Moon.
You know how you feel about Ember Moon, and I totally get it now.
That be.
I totally I love Molly Holly.
She's going to the Hall of Fame.
As she fucking, I'm sorry, I'm about to get me to
she fucking should.
She should have been in the Hall of Fame a while ago. No, Layla, I respect it because of how I remember they had the whole Diva search. I remember I actually wanted Layla to make it. I thought she was pretty. I thought she had good mic skills. And I was like, okay, if they work her and teach her, she'll be fine. So she was an important part of Divas era. She was, but I think she's too long. If you're basing it, I'm not sure. If I knew what the hell they were basing this list off, I can be better with my thoughts in regards to, well, this is why. But I don't know what the hell. I feel like they just randomly put names in a randomizer and was like, here's your 50. That's literally what I'm feeling.
41, Ember Moon.
Yes, I feel like she should be further up.
Yeah.
She should be further up. Definitely. Yeah. About time, because she was a fantastic wrestler. She really was. And anybody who can cut their hair off for wrestling, power to you, because that would not be me.
41. I keep saying 41, Ember Moon.
I know how you feel about Ember Moon. She can wrestle for the most part. But
I feel like that as Ember Moon, the person. As a wrestler, I adored her. I loved Athena until I found out she was her husband. Her hair. But as a wrestler,
she can wrestle.
Fucking nice. Upper 40s, I'm cool with that. 40, Eve Torres.
How did she beat Layla? How did she beat Toni Storm is beyond me.
That little corner pocket before she left, she was their girl. She was in storylines with the men. She was admin on the TV. She was kissing Kane and John Cena and Zack Ryder. Once you're kissing multiple men, you're one of their girls.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't mind Eve Torres. I think she should be a little higher up. But again, if I don't mind Eve Torres. I know what she was when she was there. 39, Lacey Evans.
How the hell is she 39?
All right, so this is the point where I am gonna get up and go to the bathroom while I no, I'm not playing with y'all. I'll be back. No.
Oh my god. So to you guys who are watching, I don't think Lacey Evans could wrestle personally. I think she's still very green in the ring. She still needs a lot of people to call out moves for her. I was okay with the gimmick a little bit when they did I believe she originally saw the Young Classic, and I was okay with that. But to be 39, I believe because I have to list up as well. For her to be 39, no. I mean, she was even Torres was okay. She's not terrible, but I don't know if I think she was better than Layla necessarily. I think that's like I'm okay with it, but I don't know if I think she's better than Layla. That's what I mean. As far as Lacey Evans, no, she should not be 39. She hopes she even got 50. I don't 39 to say Lacey is better than
Are we done talking about her?
She's a blonde, but I mean, I guess I don't even think she's not ugly, but she has a very strong face. So I don't know how I feel about like.
It's not honestly. Here's the thing: I have a very strong face, but I don't have weird looking features. She kind of looks like a foot.
I don't know how she.
What I am going to say about her, because unfortunately, y'all still talking about her. As far as this list goes, it's not because her wrestling appeal, because she's not a good wrestler. It's not because her mic skills, because she can't talk. It's not because, her gimmick, because it's trash. So why is she on this list?
I don't know. Because she's still very green in the ring. Like, you can tell. It's not even like when you see that much.
She's not even green. She's not even green. She's still the primary colors. They haven't even been mixed.
Yeah, I don't know what she did.
I don't want to talk about her.
I don't know how she made 39. Like
above Ember Moon, above Shotzi, above Candace, Nikki Cross, Toni Storm. Fuck, Sonya Deville, the Kaylee Ray.
I was one of those people that was happy she was gonna be gone for a while, to be real.
Yes.
I was one of those people.
You know what? I hope, what's funny? I hope that she's not actually pregnant, and then we come to find out that it was like what they did with Charlotte.
Yo.
And they just suspended her. She's like, guys, I'm not pregnant. And boom, she's gone. Let me set myself up because I pushed just way far back to run away from Lacey. So 38. Jazz.
She's too far low.
Jazz is fucking one before Lacey. Fucking, I said Lacey Von Erich.
No, but
look who's
the person before Jazz. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Jazz deserves better than that. Like, we're not gonna act like Jazz was super dominant when she was in Sis was
Jazz. Trish wouldn't have got over that well as a babyface.
That's true. Because Jazz was busting her ass. Let's be real. Jazz was busting not just her ass, because she bust quite a few people's ass on the roster. But for her to be that close to Lacey Evans is disrespectful.
Every blonde girl with boobs
still wrestle.
Every blonde girl with boobs in WWE has a black girl they got to get over, and she was Trish's.
Yeah, man, that's too disrespectful to Jazz. She's too low. She's too low on the list. And Jazz used to really piss me off because she was always just beating everybody up, and I didn't really like heels growing up. I appreciate heels as an adult. As a kid, I hated heels. I was like, why are you gonna be all mean and stuff? But as an adult, I appreciate it. Jazz was amazing with regards to her wrestling skill, and she's super dominant, and she does not deserve to be where she is on that list. Like, shenanigans. That's like saying she and Lacey Evans are like the same in skill. Fuck out of here.
So boom, I'm gonna say the next two as one. 37, Maurice. 36, Nia Jax. How the fuck are they better than Jazz?
Yo, Jazz. I'm not gonna say Maurice didn't do little things when she was wrestling.
Maurice,
but she's not Jazz. But she wasn't Jazz. I don't know how the hell they're over.
Jazz is still going.
Yes, and she can still fucking wrestle. I just saw a match of hers 2 weeks ago. Right. She can still fucking wrestle.
I don't know, and I don't like it. So I don't have nothing to say about them too, because they're right above Jazz. 35, Bianca Belair.
If we're basing it off of her just getting there, fine. Is she a better wrestler than half the people that was mentioned already? Fuck yes, she is.
Here's the thing. I'm okay with her being at 35. I'm perfectly okay with her being at 35.
Because she just got to the main roster.
She just got there. She's good. So she should be above most of the girls that just got there. She's really fucking good. So 35 is good. Being before Jazz, no. No.
Yeah, that shameful. Shameful.
Unfortunately, hers comes with a bad aftertaste because it was before Jazz. It's slanted, so now I'm slanted, and it's like weird. Fix. Okay. Fix. Okay. Whatever. It's not gonna fix. 34, Carmella.
Carmella's not better than my Bianca Belair, and she's not better than Jazz. She's not.
Carmella should be in Lacey Evans' spot.
I feel like Carmella wrestled that well. She's gotten a little better.
Nope.
She did a little bit, but I don't think she's that good of a wrestler. I always felt that. Her wearing Jordans does not make a wrestler. Her being from New York does not make a wrestler. I'm sorry. No.
She was the first femzo. She was the first femzo. Is the second one here? She might. Nah, she's not here. Good, because I would have spazzed if she was. Gail Kim is 33. Now, Gail Kim as a wrestler, I agree. She should be in the upper 30s, maybe mid 20s as a wrestler. But as a WWE wrestler, I don't even know why you put Gail Kim on this list.
Yeah, they violated Gail Kim in WWE.
They violated Gail Kim, and Gail Kim quit during a battle royal. She eliminated herself and never came back. She had a cup of tea in WWE.
Yeah, they didn't treat her well there anyway. She's a great wrestler.
So for them to jump on Gail Kim's book is crazy. But 32 is Jacqueline.
She's too low on the list to me.
Jacqueline should be in the top fucking 5. Jacqueline should be in the top fucking 5.
Like, was she not hardcore champion?
Was she not cruiserweight champion? Jacqueline should be in the top fucking 5.
And
she was a ref. She was like, I can ref. What's up? Jacqueline should be in the top 5.
No, Gail Kim I loved her wrestling. I thought she was a phenomenal wrestler. I just think that WWE didn't do so well.
WWE, I would feel that it's criminal for her to be in 33. She should be in the 20s. But she didn't make her career in WWE. There's a cup of water. If you wasn't paying attention, you didn't know who Gail Kim was. It's criminal that Jacqueline is in the 30s.
It is.
Criminal that she is in the top 5.
It is.
Fucking Jacqueline. Jacqueline was better than every wrestler she ever wrestled.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Every single wrestler she ever wrestled, she was better than them. And that says a lot.
Jacqueline definitely hit some milestones in her career. Like that's
I don't think she won the champion. I don't think she won the champion in WCW, but she definitely contended for the championship in WCW.
So I'm gonna assume some white folk made the list, to be real.
Of course, white folks made the list. All the black girls. All the black girls.
Shenanigans.
Listen. Hold on. There's no more black girls. There's no black girls in the 20s. There's no black woman in the 20s.
Oh, man.
There is no black woman after 25. Let's get into it. 31, Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane is good, but since she's before Jacqueline, fuck out of here.
Agreed. I do like Kairi Sane. I do.
If we're just talking about the spot and where she's rated, yes, perfect for her. She hasn't been there a while, but when she was there, she made an impact. As a wrestler, she had a cute gimmick. She's there.
But she was also injured a lot. She was injured a lot.
Before Jacqueline, you gotta get this bitch out my face.
Yeah, she should not be before Jacqueline or Jess, for that matter.
No.
If this is WWE's Impact, no. Insane.
30. Naomi. And this is the last black woman on this list. It's only 3. Naomi in 30 is criminal. Naomi should be in the top 25. Along with Alicia Fox, who's not on this list.
She was a women's champion. Wasn't she a Divas champion as well, Naomi?
No, they didn't give her a Divas champion. They didn't give it to her because, you know,
it was the NXT champion, right?
They already had one Black Divas champion. Why did we need 2?
It was the NXT. She was NXT champ, right?
The first NXT champ.
She was the first. Okay, so she was the NXT champion. So yeah, she should be a little further on the list.
Well, no, FCW. She wasn't NXT. She was FCW. The first FCW women's champion was her, Naomi.
Yeah, she was always injured. That's why I'm okay. I mean, I don't think she's over Jackie. I'm okay with the position in the list as far as wrestling because as far as the WWE run, she was always injured. Like all the time.
31 on this list, I agree with that. Being 31, right, one above Jacqueline, you could suck a dick. Exactly. But, you know, 30, our last Black woman on this list is Naomi, and that's criminal. It's criminal that more Black... Oh, I'm sorry. Sasha Banks. I keep forgetting. She is Black. So sorry. We got a Black woman in the top 5. Oh, no. Sorry. In the top 10. Oops.
Insane. But we already know, like, Naomi does not get the respect that she deserves.
Nope.
That can be a whole rant on that alone.
Nope.
She gets no respect. Yeah.
29, Bull Nakano. I'm not mad at Bull Nakano being in the 20s.
I'm okay with that.
Bull is the shit. 28, Ivory. She should be higher.
Definitely higher.
She was training woman. She was training, and she looked damn good with one fucking eye.
Right?
Ivory was training your woman.
Yep. Ivory should be higher too. Definitely.
Ivory should be higher. 27, Melina. Melina should be higher.
Yeah.
Melina should be
I
higher.
have to agree on that.
26, the Bella Twins. They should be separated.
They never separate them. They always got them like a package deal. Nikki wrestles better than Brie.
They should be separated, and Brie should be 26, and Nikki should be in the top 5. Matter of fact, no, top 10. If we're going wrestling, she shouldn't be top 5. Top 10.
But I was like, wait.
Listen, I love Nikki. I get ahead of myself.
It's like, whoa.
She should not be in the top 5. Top 15 at least. Nikki should be a lot higher than the fuck she is. And if we're not talking about skill, but if we're talking about impact, Nikki should be in the top 10. And the fact that they didn't separate Nikki and Brie is ridiculous.
They never do. They never do though. It's like
because they don't want to hurt Brie's feelings. They don't want to.
Brie's definitely the worst of the two.
We know Nikki is here. Brie is like.
Brie is definitely the worst of the two.
Brie should be 26. I'm okay with that. Nikki at 26? No. Brie at 26? I'll be all right.
I wouldn't put Melina top 10, but I will put her top 20.
I'll put her top 22, not top 10.
I wouldn't put a top 20, not top 10. Top 20.
Because we're speaking like wrestling gimmick, top 20. But, you know, exactly. She rebroke her shit. And she's willing to come back and break it again. So she should be in the top 10 if we're talking about impact. Because the number 1 is solely off of impact.
Has to be.
And
has to be.
Impact and boobs. 25, Io Shirai. Yeah, I'm okay with Io being 25 if it wasn't above Jazz, Jacqueline, Naomi, Bonacano, Ivory, Melina, and the Bellas.
Hey, Trent, what's up?
Like, it's a lot of people that she shouldn't be ahead of.
Yeah, and I love Io Shirai. I think she's a phenomenal wrestler.
It's
but
25
but to be over Ivory and Jazz and Jackie, no.
And Nikki Bella, you know?
No.
If we're talking impact, Nikki Bella is go harder than a lot of these bitches. 24. Luna Vachon. I am almost okay with this. They would have gave Luna 20. It would have been perfect for Luna. Now, we know Luna is better than that. We know Luna is the shit. But Luna's time in WWE was during the low period. Luna's time in WWE, she didn't really have a lot of women to wrestle, so she was a manager for most of it. And then when she was wrestling, she was there to put over stable, so she couldn't really show what she could do.
I agree.
Because she was too busy propping up the table. So if she was, the only reason I'm not for it is because she should be cool even 20.
I agree. 20 solid.
Stephanie McMahon is better than Jazz. They already told us that Stephanie McMahon is better than Jacqueline because Stephanie McMahon beat Jacqueline to win the women's title.
Which is a bunch of bullshit, to be real. Because she couldn't run. Let's be real. Stephanie
Bullshit
McMahon.
then, bullshit now.
Stephanie McMahon might have gotten a little better more later on when she did her like matches with, I think it was Nikki or Brie. It was Brie. And you can tell that she learned a little more. You could tell.
Okay, so
but for her to beat, for Stephanie McMahon to actually beat actual wrestlers on this list, get the fuck out of here.
Match-wise?
Get the fuck out of here.
Match-wise, Stephanie always overperformed in her matches from her very first one because we never expected anything out of it.
Oh, no, I agree. She should stay retired. You don't want to die. Not for wrestling. Not for wrestling. You don't want to die early because wrestling is no.
So what it is, it's and this is how you can tell. This is how you can tell Nikki became a wrestler. Because they say like once you are a wrestler, it's hard to quit that.
I feel like that's in general with any type of where there's like sports related type situations. A lot of them don't know how to let it go.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. All she did was slap people up and have people cheat for her. And they don't understand how she's on the list of women wrestlers.
As wrestling her matches, all of the matches that she had, she always overperformed. The match she had with Vince.
I don't know how she beat.
Listen,
she beat Jackie. She beat actually everybody on the list. She beat. She should not have beaten.
If Stephanie was somewhere in the 30s, I wouldn't complain because we're talking promos, we're talking character. Yes, you should be in the fucking 30s. We're talking as a wrestler, no. But 22 Michelle McCool, she's too high.
She definitely is.
It's that game.
I did not like Michelle.
That's too high. That's Michelle McCool. She's too high.
No, she is too high. And I'm not gonna, I guess, take.
You know why she's too high, right?
It's okay.
You know why she's too high, right? Because when they used to talk about women who built the women's division, she was like, "What? Oh yeah, forget about me, bitch. You was home being Undertaker's wife. You was cool then, but as building to this, you had no parts of that. So ever since they said that, and she felt some type of way, now they put her on everything, and it's like
she should be in that case. She should be around there where Layla is.
She should be one before Layla. So wherever we set to Layla,
I never really found that she. I'm sorry, like no, I never was a fan of Michelle McCool. I was okay a little bit with the Lay Cool thing. I was all right with it, but as far as her being better than Jackie and Ivory, get the fuck out of here. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. How? How? Somebody find me that match that was like, ooh, this better than Jack. Where?
Michelle McCool. It's because her husband said she does the Styles Clash better than AJ Styles.
Lies.
She's fucking tall.
Lies.
She's tall.
Lies.
Because she's tall. It's because she's tall. But
like, listen, AJ Styles, I don't really necessarily like his out of ring because sometimes he annoys me. But as far as an overall wrestler, he can wrestle his ass off, and he's very well rounded. Let's not say she can get the fuck out of here. No, she can't.
Listen, she's Undertaker's wife. So
yes, I agree. She should be with fucking Layla. Like, I don't understand how the hell she just hired her.
Wherever Layla is, she should be right before, because that's what she's known for. 21 is Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is amazing. She's too high.
I agree. She's too.
She deserves
and I love Rhea Ripley.
She deserves to be around where Bianca Belair is.
But I wouldn't put her over Jackie. I wouldn't put her over Ivory.
No.
I wouldn't even put her over Luna.
No.
I'm sorry, no.
No.
And I absolutely love Rhea. She's my girl. But no.
She just made it to the main roster. Her debut was Monday. Oh, sorry, or the other Monday, whenever she came. She just came. 20, Natalya. Natalya should be in the 20s. I just don't like her. And she pulled it on herself. They should have.
I mean,
honestly,
solid.
I wish that they would have put her real
off,
high
like,
on the list. She could cry about it on Twitter.
She's solid, but there's just something about her gimmick that it's just okay, I guess. Like,
because
it's
she's not a likable person.
She's there, and I'm not gonna say she's not solid because she wrestles. You know,
she probably is, but she's not a likable person on Total Divas, and she doesn't come across that way to me. I don't like her character. Her character was always fucking, I'm Natalya. I'm a heart. AJ Lee, 19. Just about right.
I'm all right with AJ Lee being there.
Just about right.
I'm okay with that.
Just about right. Just like, I have no issues with AJ Lee being there. I've seen people mad at it. You shouldn't be. Just
now, if you're basing it off her impact on wrestling, she was good promo.
That's about it.
Promos.
She's pretty.
She was, and then she was tiny, and like she wasn't tiny and like. I gained a lot more respect for her after reading how she got into the WWE, and she did it with things broken. That I'm like, if you was able to pull that off with like men, and you did this with like you had broken parts and you still got into WWE, I'm gonna have to give you credit because that wouldn't be me personally. Yeah. As soon as something hurt on me, okay, well it was nice, Vince. Like personally,
ask Dan. I got a cramp last night, and I was a complete bitch. I was like, eee!
Listen, I get Charlie horses often because of my fibro, and I do not like. I'm over it. I'm over everybody. I'm over everything. Fuck everything. So.
That cramp started behind my knee and stretched around to my hip, and like I still feel it. I gotta like massage. And Natty at 20 is fair. If they would have put AJ at 21, I would have said that's fair too.
I think my problem with Natty is she relies way too much on the fact that she's like in the Hart family, and I don't like that.
No, WWE relies way too much on the fact that
she always go, oh, that's, and I'm like, okay, that's nice, Natty, but can you do what is you that's you? What do you bring to that?
They don't give her they don't. Natty's there because she's a solid hand. They don't really care for Natty, and then she comes and she's like good with PR and stuff like that. So she's just around. WWE, that's on WWE. If you give them, they're wrestlers. Wrestlers is not gonna become like, oh, I just want be a PI. Wrestlers should not have control over themselves. We see it by Rusev. We see it by AEW completely. It's just anyhow. Wrestlers shouldn't have control over anything they do, or not what they say, but anything they do. They shouldn't have control over their gimmicks. They can have input into their gimmicks.
Yeah.
But if you have control over the gimmicks, you get people who like, well, I'm a Hart. What am I supposed to do? That's who I am. I'm a Hart. That's my blood. I'm Stu Hart's granddaughter. I'm Bret Hart's niece. I'm Jim Neidhart's daughter. So it looks like that's all that Natty could offer them, and WWE ain't really helping her. Like, I guess Vince is like, what can we do with her? She's Bret's niece, 18, Shayna Baszler. She's too high.
She's too high.
She's great.
But I feel like most people already know how I feel about Shayna Baszler. I feel like she's totally overrated. I don't care what anybody says. I'm sorry.
Listen. You know why? Because they pushed her. They pushed her because they know she's good and she's Ronda's friend. So they kind of pushed her really fucking fast because she's Ronda's friend. And by her being there, it was easier to get Ronda there. So if they do right by her, Ronda could feel more comfortable coming in more on her later. She's too high.
Yeah, I don't like Shayna. I mean, I think she's solid. I just don't like her. But I don't know if I'll put her that, like, she doesn't deserve to be that high on the list. What the fuck does she do in WWE? Mm-hmm. What did she do? Because like I said, this list is so confusing because it's like, well, if it's wrestling skill, fine. But then you got people on the list that's too high if the wrestling skill. If you're going off gimmick, fine. But Shayna Baszler's gimmick is, all right, whatever. So what exactly is the list based on? because it seems too all over the place to be based off, like, even if it's an impact, and even then, if it's impact, then people are way off of where they're supposed to be.
Exactly. Shayna could be in the mid-30s with Bianca, with Ripley, and with Shayna. They can all be together, and Ember Moon could be put there too.
They seem so upset. Listen, y'all. I get y'all. People like a lot of people like.
Shayna said be 17. She said be 17. I'm sorry.
She does not belong as 17.
She should not be before Jacqueline, Ivory. She should not be before Nikki Bella. She should not be before freaking
taking
Melina Bonacano,
because I really do not like her.
Luna Vachon. She should not be before all of these.
What did she do?
Great wrestlers that actually had an impact. We're talking over each other, but we all both right. So you can listen back and pick one person to listen to, and then listen to the other the next time.
Yeah, I just don't like her, but I'm not gonna take away her skill. She's skilled.
I love her. I love Shayna. She's
too high on that list.
Mad high. She shouldn't be this high.
Right.
17, Paige. Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Paige accomplished so much before she even turned.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't know what this list is for. Is it wrestling skill or impact? Because if it's wrestling skill, a lot of people will not be on the list. If it's impact, a lot of people should not be on the list. Are you so
It's not even a popularity contest because a lot of people shouldn't be on this list. They're not popular. Like the mid, not even mid, like the late 2000, early 2010 Stevens. A lot of them shouldn't be on this list, but they here. They were not popular at all. Paige at 17. She can go a little higher. I'm okay with that. Like the 20 to 17 range is good for her. She accomplished so much before she even turned 22.
Though I feel like a part of it was they pushed her hard.
Because she's been wrestling since she was 12.
So, but I'm okay with her being that place.
They pushed her hard because they knew that she was young and good. She did. Emma gets overlooked because she stole that iPad cover that she didn't steal. And then she couldn't do the Emelina gimmick, so they fired her.
Oh, man.
But Emma was good. They gave her gimmick was stupid.
Listen, this is the thing. Like a lot of I'm not saying don't love what you do. I feel like you should always love what you do and makes you happier to do your job. I'm just not fond of any type of sports where an athlete or a person in that position hurts themselves for a job that goes to the next big thing.
Paige coming back after surgery. She had surgery like a year or so before she came back, but she didn't rehab all of her other demons before she came back. So she still came back in a fragile state. She still came back not really in shape. She came back, like if you have a surgery, like a neck surgery, and your neck is fucked up, you need to take care of it. She was doing hard drugs and alcohol with Alberto Del Rio. He should be in jail. And not even for her, just from the stories we hear about him. So she was doing that for about 2-3 years, looking really strung out. She was really strung out for a very long time. They should have sent her to rehab, even if she was clean. They should have sent her to rehab, and they should have let her train at NXT for a little bit before coming back and wrestling on the main roster. That was inevitable. Her body was really, really in a bad place when she came back, and it wasn't ready for that. They just put her back in really fast.
Yep.
Sable is 16. I'm cool. We can't deny what the fuck Sable was. We have a women's division because of her boobs.
That's true.
That's literally it. They loved her titties. She had really nothing else going. She was half okay.
Yeah, she was okay.
You
can't deny that we wouldn't have any woman if
She always looked middle-aged to me.
Agreed. She had an old looking face.
She was 15, Molly Holly. Yeah.
I mean
Molly in the top 15 is solid.
I feel like the fact that there's people over her though that shouldn't be over her is why I'm not okay with it. Like I'm okay, like if we're basing it again, like yes, she fits that spot, yes. Perfect. But that she's some people are a little over her that shouldn't be, that makes me annoyed. It's like that. Like we're getting to her, but somebody like no, she's not even that good of a wrestler. People just hype that up a lot, but
yeah,
I'm just gonna let that slide.
14. Victoria.
I like Victoria because she was a solid wrestler. I'm okay with her being 14.
I will put Victoria a little higher, the upper teens, not before 20, but upper teens. But yeah, I'm okay with Victoria.
I'm okay with that. She was solid. I love
13, her. Alexa Bliss. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what I was going with. That's what I was saying. Alexa Bliss is not better than Molly Holly. She is not better than Victoria.
Alexa Bliss is not. Hold on, let me go to someone mediocre. Alexa Bliss is not better than Stephanie McMahon. Alexa Bliss is barely better than
Alexa Bliss was the first 2 time, she was able to get the Raw, SmackDown, and then the Raw and SmackDown. She was the first one to do that. Fine. Her gimmick, whatever. The whole mean girl, little white, blonde, short, white mean girl. If that's a gimmick, whatever. I've told people before, I'm completely over her being the whole theme thingy happening. I'm over it. I've been over it a long time. She's not better than fucking Molly Holly. Molly Holly will wrestle circles around her. Victoria will wrestle circles around her. Gail Kim will wrestle circles around people who can actually wrestle. Jackie will wrestle circles around her. I don't understand how she's this high on the list. And I'm thinking because she's a pretty blonde, and that is the reason. And this, I do get that she held the titles a couple of times. She definitely did hold the titles a couple of times, but I always felt they forced it because she's not that good of a wrestler. She's okay. She's not a great wrestler to even have the titles that she did.
As this list, I wouldn't even grade people by the titles they held. Because, or the number of times they held the title, I should say. Right? Because
I don't know where I don't know what the
whoever Vince likes at the moment. It's whoever Vince like at the moment.
Yes. Y'all laughing.
Like she
you dead ass.
But that's because Mickie James. Mickie James, she had good matches with Mickie James.
Actually, Mickie James is right above Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, that is a fucking
that is disgraceful.
blasphemy.
That is disgraceful.
Mickie James is not one ahead of Alexa Bliss in anything.
She's not. She's also somebody who can wrestle circles around.
She's 40 ahead of Alexa Bliss. Probably even 85. Alexa Bliss should be number 62 on this list.
62. It's a random number. It's a random like here. Yeah, Alexa Bliss being above, get the fuck out of here. No.
On the list of top greatest,
they definitely push her a lot,
WWE
and I'm guessing it's because she's a pretty blonde. Because I think her wrestling is pretty mediocre. I've always felt this about her. I don't know how she's this far up on the list, but I get it.
Y'all could have got BB from the Attitude Era and put her above Alexa Bliss, and I was like, yeah. Y'all could have got the Cat and put her above this, and I was like, yeah, she showed her tits.
Yeah, Mickie James being that close to get the fuck out of here. That's disrespectful to her.
You know they wanted someone to put the Cat on this list, but they couldn't because everybody would be mad. Like, come on, she showed us her tits every week, and you know they wanted to put Moolah on this list, but they didn't.
Well, we know why Moolah didn't make the list.
You know they want Moolah on this list. First of
we
all,
know why Moolah didn't make the list.
Honestly, we can hate what Moolah is, but if there's a list of WWE's 50 greatest women, Moolah's number 1.
That's true.
She held the champion for 50 years. She held the championship for 50 years.
But we can't deny that part.
Moolah's number 1. Mae Young, number 2. And she did it in her 40s. No, sorry. She did it in her 80s. She was like 75.
The segments with the Dudley Boys alone.
Not even just that, yo. She was getting her ass beat by Jeff Jarrett before that.
The bumps that Mae Young took alone is legendary. Because like I said, nobody did that to me. I'm gonna want to fight.
Moolah didn't even take those bumps, B. Moolah did not even take those bumps. You know, Moolah probably said you out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah, like every time they had a segment together, it was always Mae Young. It was always Mae Young ready with the shenanigans. It was always Mae Young. Yeah. So off that alone. Mickie James being 12
should be.
She is a very decorated champ, and she can actually still wrestle.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she's.
I'm okay with Mickie James at 12. I'm
not
okay.
Yeah.
With Mickie James being one above Alexa Bliss.
That's exactly what it is. I'm okay with her number placement. I'm not okay with the fact that they're implying Alexa Bliss' skill is as close to Mickie James, because that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's not.
Number 11, and I might get do I have an echo?
Oh no, I don't hear that.
So number 11, and I might get a little flack for it, but it's Beth Phoenix, and she's too high.
Oh, there's no flack on my end. I think Beth Phoenix is overrated.
Beth Phoenix is big overrated. Now, yes, she was in the men's Royal Rumble, and yes, she's strong and had a ladders match, and yes, she was the Glamazon, yes, but fuck out of here.
Yep.
She's no way, and the way, like, she has an Icons episode on the network. How the fuck is she an icon? If you walk on the street and ask someone who's Beth Phoenix, they go, I don't fucking know. What are you talking about?
Yes, I thought an icon is supposed to be somebody that people who don't even watch would know. Like, if I ask a person, well, who's John Cena? They might not watch wrestling, but they know who the fuck John Cena is.
She should not be here, but you know, she's here.
I don't even think she should have gotten to the Hall of Fame as soon as she did. Personally, it took the fact that she beat certain people to the Hall of Fame. I was like, how did she beat these people to get to the Hall of Fame first? how?
You know what Beth Phoenix should be?
She wasn't wrestling WWE that long.
You know what Beth Phoenix should be, and I will be okay with Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix should be mid-20s. And that's being generous.
Yeah, I would say like maybe 30.
Number 10.
And it's still.
Hold on.
Oh, man. All
right, boom. 10-1 is all overrated. Number 10, Bayley.
Yes. Yo, you're about to listen.
I think
Beth Phoenix is overrated.
I wouldn't even put her on the same level as Natty, because Natty did it for so many fucking years.
And I think actually Natty can wrestle better than her, personally.
Natty can
wrestle better than Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix was just them trying to get a new China.
Which wasn't gonna happen. China's her impact is a little different. I feel that honestly. I'm okay with like Kane making it. He's not like, I'm okay with that.
I don't want to do a Hall of Fame list because it's all farce.
In regards to RVD, like I said, I'm not going to take away what he did when he got like his role with the ECW stuff when they first got to WWE. All of that, I can't take that from him. I just feel like, I guess, I always wonder what the qualifications is for the Hall of Fame, and I'm always very confused. So I'm always mad, like, what did they do to make it to the Hall of Fame? I need to know. When Beth Phoenix made it to the Hall of Fame, I was really questioning what the fuck did she do?
Yeah,
to make it to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And people try to tell me
what
about
the fuck did she do to make it to number 11 on
this? China did porn. Okay, well, she wasn't the only person in wrestling with a shitty extracurricular activity life. She's one of many. She's one of many WWE wrestlers.
She's coming. Let's save China for then. Number 10 is Bayley.
Now, while I do appreciate what Bayley has been doing recently as far as trying to get her hands with making sure putting women over, I appreciate that. I appreciate that she can wrestle. And I do like the gimmick she has currently better than that hugging gimmick, because I was over the hugging a while before it ended. Like, I was like, all right, sis, you only fucking hug everybody. There's no time for kumbaya all the time. Do she belong in top 10? Absolutely not.
She could be in the top 20.
Absolutely not.
She could be in the top 20.
Yes, top 20. Top 10, no. And she's a good wrestler. She can wrestle. I like her gimmick, and she's definitely putting people over. She's been working. She's been working to put people over. She has been. And I'm very gracious. Like, she's really been like, let me wrestle anybody if I can get them over. I respect all that about Bayley, but she's not top 10. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Insane.
Top 20. Too high. Guess what? Everybody hold your butts. Number 9 is Ronda Rousey.
Fuck out of here. And let's be clear, I actually love Ronda Rousey in the UFC.
Okay, boom. If we are going to the fact that she was a mainstream star and she lost and then came to wrestle for WWE, that's one thing. She had a really good, whatever, freshman year, right? Cool, right? Right? She had a really good freshman year. But every single one of Ronda Rousey's matches, you can tell, was step by step planned.
That is also true. And I said I do respect Bayley. I don't think she's top 10 though. Mm-hmm. There's too many women wrestlers who are better wrestlers for her to beat them.
Listen.
But
here's the thing. We can't. That's why I said I do not want to talk about championships too much, because yes, she is the first Grand Slam champion, but it is in an era where no one gives a fuck.
Let me tell you why I don't like Ronda Rousey. I absolutely love Ronda Rousey when she was in UFC. She was super badass. Every time she I was like, yes, do your thing real quick, get the fuck out of the octagon, and call it a day. But when she started getting too big for her britches and thought she didn't have to like study her opponent, and then she lost, again, and she started crying and having a meltdown, like people don't lose. It happens every day. Suck that shit up and get back on.
She was damaged.
And then she decided to come to WWE because like, okay, well, this is going to be a piece of cake because I'm a UFC fighter. And because the only reason she had a good freshman year was because she was a UFC fighter. You can tell she still needed to tweak her wrestling ability.
Here's the thing.
She didn't even have wrestling as one of her UFC skills. She had other fighting techniques that she used when she was a UFC fighter. It wasn't wrestling. So if you're now adjusting to be a entertainment wrestler, then you need to work on that. And they just pushed her because she was Ronda Rousey. And then after she got mad because fans were complaining, and then she did that whole spiel, how the fuck are you top 10? How?
Because they suck her dick. But all of her matches,
outside of her being known outside of wrestling, what impact did she have in wrestling? What?
Nothing.
What did she do? I really need to know.
All of her matches.
If I'm wrong, somebody in the comments, please enlighten me. What did she actually do for wrestling as an impact? Because she got her push. She got her push because she was a UFC star, not because she was great in wrestling. She got
what she did for wrestling was she was the first women's main event.
Okay.
In WrestleMania history.
And she was one of 3, right? It was 3 of them, right?
And the worst one in the match. But she hasn't been back.
That was when I was done with her too. Like, I'm not saying it don't suck to lose. I'm sure you've been on a high for so long, and somebody losing and beating you that quickly has to hurt your pride. I'm sure it does. But to the level she went, where she was just like, fuck everything. How do you think everybody else felt when she beat them? They still fucking went and fought. She used to beat people quickly, and they still had to get up in the next match and do whatever they had to do.
She was a bad winner and
egotistical, like she fought, and then Holly Holmes is not even that fucking good because she's not. Ronda's actually the better fighter of the two.
Didn't Holly lose her next match?
She sure did. So she wasn't better than Ronda. Ronda just got a bit egotistical and felt she didn't need to like get herself to do whatever, and she lost. But instead of taking that loss to come back better, she had a whole meltdown and she did it again in WWE. Oh, the fans don't like me. So you don't know wrestling fans are like the worst? Wrestling fans are probably worse than anybody else's fan base. And you got to wrestling, supposedly you're a diehard wrestling fan and don't know wrestling fans are shitty? Really? You're a wrestling fan, like, oh, I always wanted
to probably
Roddy Piper and I loved him so much. And
yeah, here's the thing. I think that's cap.
You don't know that wrestling fans are worse?
I think her love and Roddy Piper was cap. I think that was cap. Her love and Roddy Piper. I think that's cap. I think they called her Rowdy Ronda, and then he talked to her, or they made somehow they crossed paths because of it, and then that's why she loves him. I don't think she loved him. She my age. I don't love Piper.
Deadass. I don't. I guess.
I don't know if she's my age, but she's in her 30s. I don't fucking love Piper.
Like, Ronda didn't do shit for wrestling. I do not care what anybody says. If you're basing it off UFC, yes, she did. Yes, she did. Wrestling, no. She needed work with her wrestling. And don't get me started with her acting. Anytime she made a face, I wanted to punch her right in it. Anytime she did that little weird face she did when she was supposed to be angry, I was ready to fight her. I was ready to fight
When she was Sonya in Mortal Kombat, she was the worst. She did all her promos deadpan. But here's the kicker. For Ronda to be as big as a star as Ronda was, she didn't make an impact when she came to WWE. Viewers didn't spike. It didn't get much more notoriety. When she was still in UFC, it did. But it didn't get much more notoriety. They didn't get UFC fans to come watch Ronda.
Sure did.
So, no. She shouldn't be this high. Period. Number 8, Lita. I'm okay with her being 8.
Yes. I was a big Lita fan growing up because I thought it was cool that she was like tomboy. She was able to flip off shit. To me, that was cool. I like pink and all, but I wasn't girly. Like, I was the person in like sweats and stuff. So for me,
I'm still the person in sweats and stuff.
For me, I was like, yes, she's not like horrible looking and she can flip off some shit. I'm all for it. I'm okay with her being there. Will I admit that there are women wrestlers who can out wrestle her? Yes. Because she was sometimes, depending on what she was doing, she wasn't like the tightest in the ring. But I'm okay with her being there. I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it.
Number 7, Alundra Blaze.
7?
Too high.
7? Listen, okay. 7. No, not
because here's the thing. The biggest thing that she did was throw the belt in the trash. And only reason we talk about that is because we talk about the fact that it was a war and they had your women's champion throw the belt in the trash. Her championship reign was just very generic. She was a good wrestler. She can kick most men's ass. But as for WWE top 50 women's wrestler, she could be in the top 15. She could be in the top 20. I'll be cool with that. She had 1 year, maybe 2. And it was a fucking cup of tea, and she's too high.
It's a cup of tea.
Too high.
Oh, man.
Number 6, the black girl I forgot, Sasha Banks. I said Naomi is the last black girl. From 30 to 1, no black girls. Sasha Banks here. I forgot about her. So that tells you she shouldn't be this high.
I met them both as well. Different years though. They're nice. But we're going to get about Trish, about her being number 1. Because that's going to be a rant for me. So I just hope y'all prepared.
Number 6, Sasha Banks too high. She's too high.
You think he thinks
high on the list?
Okay, you think she like top? I see. This is the thing. If you're basing it,
hold on. What is the blueprint of Sasha Banks? To say you are the blueprint, that means that people are following your fucking your spectrum to build.
Well, that's what a blueprint's supposed to mean.
That's what a blueprint is.
People use that though.
Only thing she blueprinting is her fucking hair, and she wasn't even the first with fucking blue hair. So what is she the blueprint of? That is her gimmick. That is not what she is. Now, maybe in probably 15 years, you can say that. But as of right now, she ain't really do shit till last year. She ain't do nothing till last year. She had championship that ain't mean shit. She ain't do nothing till last year.
Didn't she always
NXT matches? Even when she was having those NXT matches, guess what? It didn't mean shit till this year. This year. Didn't mean nothing. She's too high on this list. You could put her in the top 20. I'll be cool with that. But number 6, suck my dick. She's not better than Jazz and Jacqueline. Period. The end. Jeff Jarrett was the chosen one, but nobody likes him, so
Yo, Jeff Jarrett used to piss me off, man. He was just so annoying. Like, bro, shut up.
He's a good heel, baby.
Yes, he was. He used to irk my soul so bad.
Her hair run in NXT was epic, but it was unwatched. It was only watched by hardcore wrestling fans. You ask someone outside of wrestling who Sasha Banks is, they probably won't know. Anybody in the fucking top 10 should be someone that transcends wrestling, that people outside of wrestling would know. You can ask Stan's mom about Nikki Bella. You can ask my mom about Nikki Bella. My sisters don't watch wrestling, but I catch my sisters watching Total Bellas all the fucking time. If people outside of wrestling don't know who you are, you should not be in no top 10 of a 50 greatest list.
I'm gonna have to agree there.
Period. Nobody knows fucking. That's that girl.
The thing is, I watched The Mandalorian.
No one's watching The Mandalorian like, oh, I need to know this girl's name. If you are just a fan of Star Wars, if you are not a fan of wrestling,
the only people that popped about that were wrestling fans.
If you are not a fan of wrestling, you do not give a fuck about her being there.
That's
Star
true.
Trek fans, I said Star Trek.
No, any Star Wars fan didn't care that Sasha Banks was there.
And The Mandalorian. No one cares about her wrestling fans.
It was wrestling fans. That's correct. That was correct. Wrestling fans were hype about that because we knew what the move was. We knew what the DDT was. It's like, oh, she's doing a wrestling move, and we all that as wrestling fans. People who like Star Wars did not
The
care.
Rock does the Rock Bottoms in all his movies. Triple
sure
H
does.
pedigreed someone on Charmed. We're gonna talk about shit like that.
That is true. The Rock definitely do get a rock bottom in there. Like all the time. He definitely does get the rock bottom in his
The Rock Bottom and Why Did I Get Married?
Oh, he definitely do get the rock bottom in there. Like, he definitely does.
Every time he gets to do something, actually, it's a rock fucking bottom there somewhere. But she's too fucking high. Oscar's 5. She's too fucking high.
I feel Oscar's a solid wrestler though. I just hate what they've done with her run.
She's a solid wrestler, but she's too fucking high for a list of WWE wrestlers where fucking the building blocks to the division is in the fucking 30s. Sorry, hold on. Where's Jacqueline? Where does Jacqueline start? Jazz is 38. Jacqueline's 32. No. Anybody in this list is not better than Jack. In a fucking top 5 is not better than Jazz and Jacqueline. So it's farce. No, I'm a shit on all of them. They're good wrestlers, but I don't give a fuck. China, number 4. China could be number 5 and I'll be okay. China could actually be anywhere in the top 10 and I'll be okay with that. But as Impact, China should actually, honestly, as Impact, China should actually be number 1. Because as impact to the business, China had a bigger impact than Trish Stratus.
Agreed.
But as for the women's division, China didn't have any impact on that division. None. She shouldn't have been in that division.
Yeah, we already got about Chaz being that fucking low. And like I said, she can still wrestle. She can still wrestle very well.
China's too high if we're just talking about impact on the women's wrestling division.
But since we're not sure what this list is actually doing, because I honestly don't know because of the way some of these
China, the wrestler itself, the gimmick, the character, the everything, China could.
And a lot of people who didn't watch wrestling didn't know who China was.
If you put China number 1, I wouldn't have bat an eye at that.
Because we're not gonna act like she wasn't wrestling men. We're not gonna act like she wasn't. She didn't have like the intercontinental. She had that, and you can't take that from her. Did she need some work? Did she need some work in her wrestling? Yes, I do.
Could be in the top 2 as a woman wrestler. She could be in the top 2. Not a bad of an eye. Women's wrestling the Impact.
Oh, we got there with how low they were on that list. we already bitched about that.
Yeah.
I actually watched China wrestle in New Japan. She was amazing.
Yeah.
But she got better by that point. She did need some work with some of her basic moves, but at the time,
as a wrestling skill, she should be much higher. I mean, much lower. She should be much lower.
As far as her
skill,
the
impact, gimmick, character, she's good as she
the nice wonder of the world.
She could be at 1, and I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
Number 3, Becky Lynch, way too fucking high.
Agreed.
Becky Lynch could be like 9, 10. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, she's too high.
Because her run as the champion, run as the man, but not even as a champion, the run up to the championship and how big she became as she should. She's good, but she should not be 3. Sorry.
Becky is too high. And like I said, I like Becky. I did like the gimmick, the breaking, even though that was unintentional. Her notes being broken was unintentional.
Yeah.
The way she was able to
Becky's a great wrestler.
The way she was able to spin it worked. Her whole, like, it's about, like, it's my time attitude worked for her. It definitely put her on the map.
until she won the belt. She was a
And
champion a
you
year
know
too
what they
long.
say when you reach the goal, then it's like, well, what do you do once you reach the goal? Whatever you was doing
She
is
did
wrong.
nothing as a champion.
So
As the Raw Women's Champion, she did nothing as that.
yeah, she's too high. She does not have the impact in China.
She did nothing as a champion overall.
She didn't know.
Too high. Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair could be in the top 5 and I won't bat an eye. Charlotte Flair could be 5 and I'll be like, yeah.
I don't think she's 2 though.
Not 2.
She's not 2.
Not 2. You could put Charlotte Flair as 5. You can put Charlotte Flair over Jazz because Jazz was only there but so much. You can put Charlotte Flair over. She can't be over Jacqueline. Jacqueline should be 2 or 1.
No, Charlotte can wrestle. Like, granted, people complain because she's pushed. She's Ric Flair.
Charlotte.
I think she's right. I think
I'm
not better than her dad, personally. I thought Ric Flair was mostly his gimmick. I think what made him great was his gimmick. He knew how to play his gimmick to like a whole T. I always thought his wrestling, however, was okay, I guess. His gimmick was his gimmick.
You know what? Technically, yes. But Ric Flair should have never been wrestling after the 70s. He was in a fucking plane ride that broke his back and very well should have killed him. And he was back a couple months later wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I think he probably should
be as good as he was after he had a fucking career-ending injury and Sasha Banks is too high. Fuck out here. You just came on after we said that. Watch it back later. Ric Flair should have never been wrestling after the 70s. So the fact that he did it for as long as he did it and as good as he did it and effortlessly, Ric Flair is smooth as fuck. So he's not a flashy wrestler, but his fucking basics are he is masterful at that.
I don't know, because I felt like I watched it. I know people don't agree. I watched a couple of matches with other people who were better wrestlers, and I'm like, yeah, this makes me dislike. I probably shouldn't have watched the match because I dislike him more. Seeing people
who?
There was like a kind of people like one of the matches I saw was him. No, it wasn't him versus. It was the guy who's Taka in WWE, but it was a Japanese match. And he did a lot of Ric Flair's moves. And I was just watching the effort. And I'm like, I didn't even realize this guy could wrestle this well. Like, I didn't know.
How old was Ric Flair?
I don't know. This match was an old match between Taka as well. This was like, I want to say probably like late 90s when I watched it. Yeah, I watched it recently, but
that's old.
The fact that he was able, I was like, I didn't know this guy could wrestle this well. Why the hell did I not know he could even do these moves?
But you know what?
I just feel like Ric Flair personally is gimmick for me. Like, I think that he can know how to carry the fuck out of his gimmick.
Do you know what the magic of Ric Flair is? He can make whoever he's wrestling look like $1 million. That's the gimmick of Ric Flair. He can make whoever he's wrestling look like $1 million. Sting was not a good wrestler for him to have these matches that he had with Flair. Flair would go to the territories and make these jobber niggas shine.
I don't know if it's the best though. I've seen people with better ring psychology, so I don't know if I will. That's the thing, is I feel like people have them on. I'm like, no, I can give you a few bit that's better. Asuka's top 5, I think. Well, she's 6, right?
She's 5.
Okay, she's 5. I think she's a bit, and I love Asuka. I think Asuka is actually one of the best women on that roster, honestly.
We can have a conversation about Ric Flair later, but he is a racist. I have to say that because people are like, what do you feel about Ric Flair? He's a racist too. So
yeah.
But Ric Flair can take a guy who is okay.
Yeah, there's a whole story about why
he's the best wrestler in the world.
There's a reason she's sitting out those.
Yeah, she's sitting out because the WWE thought she was pregnant, so they suspended her.
Yikes.
You hear how crazy that sounds? Anyhow. So number 2, Charlotte Flair, very much so too high. Number 1, Trish fucking Stratus. So again, I'm gonna get off camera and come back. I don't. Number 1.
So my issue with Trish Stratus being number 1. How? Granted, she was a 10-time champion, I guess, if we want to go with that. I mean, whatever. She was a 10-time champion. But about 3 of those championships she only got because the people that were supposed to get the championships were hurt. Lita was one of them. Yeah, no, I never like. Would I admit that Trish got better? Yes, she did. Finley made sure she learned something instead of her taking her boobs and like waxing tables and walking with her cowboy hat and the high boots and the dresses and the coats. And she was cute. She's pretty, you know? She was pretty. And she got better when she started wearing that one-piece wrestling outfit. She learned something. Is she number one? Fuck no. Fuck no. She's not number one. We're not going to act like Trish can out-wrestle Asuka. No, the fuck she can't. She can't out-wrestle anybody in the top 5. She can't out-wrestle anybody in the top 10. She can't. If you're basing it off the fact that she was a 10-time champion, I think she's the only person that held the title for that. Is that what it is?
Hold on, let's go further. Let's go further with Trish.
Is that the reason that she held the title 10 times?
Trish can't out-wrestle anybody in the top 20. Trish can't out-wrestle...
No, she couldn't out-wrestle people she was wrestling. She couldn't out-wrestle Lita, and Lita was a bit sloppy. She couldn't out-wrestle Jazz or Jackie or Ivory. Hell, even I would say Stephanie was a bit... Yes.
Trish can out-wrestle.
Want to get technical? Stephanie, like, she got better, and I will admit that Finley she learned some basics, because she did. She couldn't wrestle for shit when she first got there. She was there for eye candy.
People in the top 40 she can't wrestle.
She was eye candy, and Finley taught her some shit. She got better. Is she number one? Fuck no. Her getting the title 10 times is only because let's not act like wrestling don't have predicted wins beforehand. Like, there were quite a few people she won because the people were injured. Quite a few. And she only got the title because this person was injured, so they had to change the outcome. Her being 10-time champion, even if she's the only woman to ever held the belt that many times, she's still not number one. Impact, if you're not a diehard wrestling fan, will people know who Trish Stratus is? Probably not. Probably not. If I ask a guy who's like, oh, do you know who this woman is, and show a picture, and they don't watch wrestling, they might say, oh, she's pretty. She got big boobs, or she had big boobs, whatever, and then she got them reduced to whatever. But to say she's better than Chyna, to say she's better than Asuka, to say she's better than Jazz, who they used, to say that she's better than Victoria, Molly Holly, Gail, really? Really? Hell, I would say Alexa Bliss can wrestle, and I don't think Alexa Bliss wrestles well. She can out-wrestle Trish Stratus. Ooh. And she doesn't even wrestle well. Yes, Trish Stratus, I think, is a 10-time champion. She had 10 times. So I think that is the only reason why she hit number one. Because she can't even out-wrestle anybody in that top 20. That's insane to me. And but yes, if we're not putting Fabulous Moolah, and we're not putting Mae Young, if we're basing it, then yes, Chyna should definitely be number one.
Isn't Charlotte 10-time champion too?
Is she 10?
I don't know, maybe.
Already? Let's confirm that.
Google's. Let's
check really quick to see how many times.
Turn my light off.
Let's see how many times she has been.
Oh no!
What happened?
I turned my light off.
Okay, I'm trying to give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get her championship one.
No! Hold on. Let me get the other light because I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see how many times she was champion.
Oh no, this light sucks.
Oh my god, why is this so hard to find all of a sudden?
Listen, I'm trying to figure out why my light said nope, not today. Ooh.
Okay, so Charlotte has the World Champion 4 times. She had the SmackDown Champion 5 times, so that's 9. So she, as far as main roster, she's one behind Trish. If we're basing it with her NXT titles, then she would have beat Trish because she was NXT champion as well 2 times, so that gives 11. And then she was also the tag team champion, and then she was WWE Divas champion.
So
she technically held titles 13 times.
If you want to count main roster titles, just single women, she held 10 times. So
you're dead ass. That's exactly what Trish was. She was the new Sable.
She was the new Sable.
A little more skills than Sable did.
Okay, so you already said it. Her impact in the business. Her impact only pertains within the business. The girls, the young wrestlers that's coming up now. Oh, when I seen Trish and Sable, and it's funny how all of them like, oh, I don't like Bra and Penny's match, but they all say Trish and Sable.
So Trish has 7. So that I don't know how Trish is. I thought it was 10. I don't know why I thought.
So on the championship factor, she shouldn't be number 1 if we're talking championships. Memorable matches besides Lita. Matter of fact, no, because she has memorable matches because they gave her memorable opponents.
Yep.
What match did Trish carry as a wrestler? To be the greatest women's wrestler, the greatest of the top 50 women's wrestler. What match did Trish Stratus carry? Because in Trish's matches, there was always one footsteps in the sand, and it was never Trish's.
So she had a total of 8 title hoods. One is the Hardcore Championship, which I think I vaguely remember. So yeah, she was a 7-time women's champion. So no, she held less than. So I don't know how the hell she hit number 1, because if it's not the titles, because Charlotte beat you already.
I'm still waiting for the comments to answer what match has Trish Stratus carried. She didn't carry that. She didn't carry Lita.
Lita, see, like I know, like I said, people say Lita was, and yes, if you're basing it off how women wrestle now, yes, Lita was a bit sloppy. Lita needed to brush up on some things. Totally. At the time, though, Lita flipping off shit, it wasn't known for women to do the shit Lita was doing, like moonsault and shit, like it was piece cake. I couldn't do that. But Trish Stratus out wrestling the people in the top 10. Really?
Stratus, you gotta go to the 40s list to get. Matter of fact, you gotta go to the 30s, 39. She can out wrestle.
Yes, because Gail was the better wrestler.
No, don't tell me who carried matches. Tell me what match did Trish Stratus as a wrestler carry?
Oh, we're not taking
it serious.
We were literally just mentioning.
If you sat here this whole time and think that we were taking anything serious, you didn't sit here this whole time. So, what match did Trish Stratus carry? None. No match. And I'm going to put that on Twitter when I get the fuck off. Matter of fact, I'm going to get a clip of this, of me saying, hey, y'all, what match as a wrestler did Trish Stratus carry that she wasn't carried in? 0. None. I never seen a match that Trish carried. So how the fuck is she the number 1 of the 50th? I keep saying fucking 50th. The 50 greatest women wrestlers. Boom. Boom. Okay, we do that. Her impact is only inside of the wrestling community. You go to someone who don't really watch wrestling. Matter of fact, not even really watch wrestling. Who don't watch wrestling. You go to someone who don't watch wrestling. They don't know who Trish Stratus is.
That's what I said. If I ask somebody who's not a wrestling fan and I
never watched Stratus,
and I'm like, so do you know who this is? They wouldn't know who Trish Stratus is. They'll know China. They'll know China.
Yep. They know China.
They'll know China.
They'll know Nikki Bella. They'll know the Bella twins. They'll know Brie.
They'll know Stephanie, well, obviously, but I feel like they would know her.
I don't even feel like if you ain't watch wrestling, I don't really feel like you'll know who Stephanie is. You know Vince.
But that's it. She couldn't do shit when she was with Tyson Albert. She was just a manager who did a bunch of slapping, and then she was in bras and panties matches, and
we talked about matches. We talked about impact. What else? We talked about championships. What other way that you think they could scale her on? Ring ability.
She only had 7. I don't know why I got 10, but if she had 7, Charlotte already beat her on that. Charlotte beat her already.
If we're talking about ring ability, no.
If it's ring ability, she's not top 10. She's not even top 20. So if we're talking about as far as icon status, is she an icon outside of wrestling? No.
Inside of wrestling, if we're going just by her impact inside of wrestling, sure, she could be number 1. But there's people on the list inside of wrestling that has a bigger impact than her. Jacqueline does. That's yet to be seen. Like, we had this conversation. You should have joined us. That's yet to be seen. Like I said, she calls herself a blueprint. She's not a blueprint. Now, maybe kids coming up like, I want to be like Sasha Banks. Cool. But as of right now,
no. I feel like if Stephanie does the things outside of wrestling and she like tries to, that I think people might know who she is.
I feel like they'll know Shane before they'll know Stephanie.
Yeah, I mean, she was. I don't know how she's number one. I was like flabbergasted when I saw that, and I was like, she hit no. How the hell is she number one? I was really like shocked. Like, who the hell made this list? Now, the only way this list will make sense to me is if fans in some way voted and they just based it off people votes and was like, here's your 50. That is the only way this list makes sense. If somebody in WWE was like, all right, guys, let's go through the women that was in the last 30 years. Let's go through the women and see who we pick in. This list does not make sense. The only way this list can make sense to me is if fans voted on this shit, and this is why Trish made it. This is why people made it so far, because fans are like, oh, I love this person, vote. And they voted. If people in WWE really worked and made this list, what were you guys basing this on? What was you guys basing this on?
I think fans made this list, but not.
That's the vibe I got. Like
not like the internet fans, just people in WWE who were fans growing up.
That's the only way this list will make sense. Like, oh well, fans voted for it, so this is why the thing is so skewed. Somebody who worked in WWE was like, let's go through some footage and be like, you know what, we're gonna make a list. How?
I'm about to be like hits from the streets and start putting my phone in front of people's faces and say, who's
don't even play. She don't belong in no fucking list. Don't even get me upset.
You could put Eva Marie fucking in fucking Lacey Evans' spot. If Alexa Bliss is 13, you could put Eva Marie on this list.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what this list is based on. If I was championships, some spots would make sense, but then other spots won't make sense if we're basing off championships. Some of the spots wouldn't make sense on championships.
If we're basing it
on wrestling skill,
and a woman that held men's titles and not like during a 24/7 rule or anything like that, you actually had to compete for a man's title and win. Should be 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1 and 2. Sorry, it's only 2 people that actually did that.
Yeah, she's 13.
Oh, Medusa. Medusa could be high if you do Medusa Maselli because she won the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm like. The only way this list actually falls in some kind of place is if a fan did this, because there's no way people legit working the WWE was like, you know what, guys, this is where we got our top 50. This list does not.
Where's Sherry Martel?
Inquiring minds. Inquiring minds.
Yeah.
Good question. But then again, Alicia Fox didn't make the list either. She should have.
Right?
Should have.
Right?
She should have.
So you know what? Me and Katrina both said, let's try to make this like an hour and an hour. Exactly.
Good question. Questions that need answers. Because I don't know. I don't know who. I would love to know who wrote this list so that it could make some sense to me. It don't make sense. She was not. Exactly. If we got Sable and we got Kelly, then I guess Whitney can make it and Sherry can make it too. We got Kelly.
But Sherry wrestled in WWF. She did. She wrestled. And her as a valet was basically a fucking wrestler. She was in there doing mad shit.
She was.
Sherry had matches in WWF.
I love Sherry.
If you got Kelly on the list, bitch, you could put Sherry Martel. You know what? I'm actually surprised. How is Kelly here, but they didn't try to like slide Stacy Keibler or Tori Wilson in this? Y'all trying to get that on?
You would think Tori Wilson being a Hall of Famer, she might have made the list. Right? You would think Tori being a Hall of Famer, she might have made the list. That is true. She's a Hall of Famer.
Why wasn't DX Tori on this list? Because DX Tori was a good wrestler. Justice for DX Tori. Because she should have been in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. We definitely talked about that earlier, about Big Swole.
Yeah, like why do I treat that title like shit? If it wasn't for that title, we wouldn't
Yeah,
have
I don't actually. If you being, since the fact that, and Stacy Keibler definitely, they used to do Stacy so dirty. Stacy Keibler definitely took the RKO. She went through the table often. I think at one point she went off a ladder. Sis took some bumps.
Wait, hold on. If we talk about matches, Torrie Wilson had a scaffold match.
That's true.
Torrie Wilson was in a scaffold match in WCW. She was in a scaffold match.
That's true. And she's actually a Hall of Famer. I'm not sure how she didn't make. If y'all felt enough to put her in the Hall of Fame, she should have made the list.
They probably say
you put her in the Hall of Fame.
Honestly, and it's because she's in a time frame. She was in the time frame since we talking Trish Stratus and these motherfuckers.
She was.
I got Kelly here. Y'all could have definitely put Torrie Wilson, and I wouldn't argue Torrie Wilson. I'm like, it's Torrie.
I would argue with Torrie Wilson.
I would argue.
Can't wrestle.
I would argue it. I would argue it, but the Kelly's here, so you know. They didn't go as far back as Wendy, because then they would have had to put Moolah. And they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to put them in a position where they have to put Moolah. You go far back. You go any further back than like 93, the second coming of the women's title, then you have to go and put Moolah. Yep. And I think that's exactly why they didn't go that far back. Because anyhow you go far back from the second time that they brought it around, you have to put Moolah. You have to put Moolah.
I don't know how they forgot about her. She's in the Hall of Fame.
Like, how do you forget about if you forget about your Hall of Fame, that just shows that your Hall of Fame is bullshit.
Literally.
That just
Hall of Famer.
If you that case, to put your Hall of Famer on this list, then that just shows you that y'all just be blowing shit out your ass.
Yep. She didn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame personally, but she's in the Hall of Fame. So in that case, if she's in the Hall, she's technically a Hall of Famer, right? Then she should be on the list.
Right.
She didn't deserve it because I was upset about that. I was like, what are you guys smoking with this?
I was like, out of all the Torries y'all hired,
they just managed. They was like, we're going to pick some random person this year for the woman because whatever. And we got Torrie Wilson. But if she's a Hall of Famer, because technically she is, then she should be on the list.
Yes.
She'd be on the list then. According to y'all, she makes kind of impact to be a Hall of Famer.
Listen, this list is disappointing and it's upsetting me and my homegirl. So we're going to leave y'all. That's it. I'm so happy that I can use that in a show because normally it's Stan. This is upsetting me and my homegirl. So we got to go now.
Oh, man. But yes, guys, thank you. We were supposed to keep this like an hour, but
we were supposed to keep this so short. But then you reminded me of this list, and we literally spent an hour on this list.
I feel like this is what we did with the Bow Wow thing last month. It was just
this list is the Bow Wow rant.
We legit ranted in February about Bow Wow, so now we're ranting about the fact that WWE was just like, what the fuck? Like, that's what we got.
Listen. We will do this again. We'll figure something out. Next time you hear from us, we can talk about our women's main event. Our Black women's main event. And it's like, I want to be so hyped for this. It's two Black women main event and night one, you know?
Yeah. I'm hoping that in the next which color does so? Hold on, guys.
I know we on too long.
I'm hoping that they will in the next week, since Wrestlemania is like in a week and a half. In the next week they'll do something that I'm like, yes, I can't wait. But I doubt that because
I just hope they put on a bomb ass match for y'all.
I feel like Bianca, Sasha usually knows how to put on a good match. I feel like Bianca will hold her own. So I just hate that they molded it
a bomb ass match with an ending that we are happy and content with, because this build ain't worth shit.
I agree.
Y'all, I'll be back.
Thank you for joining us.
Right? Rory came and said the list. He was like, oh.
Thank you guys for joining us. I'm so appreciative that you guys want to hang with us on a Tuesday, but we would definitely try to be back.
2 hours and 40.
We would try to be back and do this again and not wait until like 2022.
Listen, listen. So in my head, and I said this to Stan, I was like, next time we'll do it from Talking Champions and we'll do like a Mother's Day something, because we could talk about mommies and wrestling. Like, just find a reason for us to talk about it. Find a reason to do this again soon.
We're hoping to do one soon, so maybe we will do something.
Yeah.
We can probably do something in May. That'll be cool.
Yeah, because listen, I would love to do a show where I have a reason to talk about Judy Bagwell. Former tag team champion. Why she not on this list? Y'all put just random motherfuckers here.
Right?
She was on a forklift. Listen, I love that match. I love Judy Bagwell. We gotta go.
Thank you so much, Rory.
Thank you, Rory. I adore Rory. Rory always fucking support. So, Rory, I'll see you again Thursday because Stan's watching WrestleMania 17. I refuse to watch that match. I'll be there to tell everybody why I don't watch it, but I'm not watching it. And now I have an excuse. They took my network down and I'm not buying Peacock. Never gonna watch that. Ariel, I was also talking about you earlier.
Appreciate you guys so much
as well. More on that later. We're gonna go because we are not giving you 3 hours. I refuse. I refuse.
All right. We will definitely try to do this again in May and have something for you guys. So, bye, guys.
Till then.